This may be the last episode that we're all together. But no matter what the future holds, no matter how far we travel, a part of us, a very important part, will always remain here on Keith and Mike Watch Deep Space Nine. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the series finale of Keith and Mike Watch Deep Space Nine. We have a whole gigantic show planned for you. It's going to be very long, so get a snack, get a box of tissues. We are here to wrap up the entire series of Deep Space Nine. We are going to wrap up the entire series of Keith and Mike Watch Deep Space Nine. I can't believe we are finally here. Mike, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. We talked off air a little bit about the stress getting to this point. Mm-hmm. We had everything working great last night when we did our test run.
Sure did, yep.
A lot of redundancy. This morning, of course, fires all around, which feels actually perfect.
It's us.
Yeah,
it's us. We gotta be us, you know?
But I got some great sleep last night. I feel rested. I'm ready. And I wanted to say, I wanted the Chancellor to come and say hello, but she's working out. She's doing those New Year's resolutions. But unbeknownst to me, Keith, you've been upset for 4 or 5 years now that she brings me snacks and coffee in the morning.
That's true. Well, I'm not upset. What I am is envious.
Great. As everyone should be, as I am for myself. I don't deserve the Chancellor is too good to me. Of course, we have not gotten our official notice of
renewal?
Of being green-lit for the next season, but we'll see.
I sure hope so.
But I did see this on my mug this morning.
Aww.
So,
look at that.
Yeah. That, of course, brought the first tear to my eye, and she called from upstairs. She's like, "Are you going to cry?" And I said, "Most likely." There's
a very, very good chance of that. I have to say, as much as I complain about being envious about not getting, Star Trek gifts from Jen, the Star Trek Cats mug that she gave me I've used it almost every day. It is worn through and almost crumbled to dust.
I wanted one other sort of wonderful kismet. So I have a baseball on my shelf over here. You can't see. That's next to my Captain, or is it Captain Mike in my figure? Yes.
I think it's Captain Mike, yeah.
But on our walk this morning, Ellie pulled this from a bush. And so it's almost like Cadet Ellie has decided she also
literally, you got a message from Cisco.
Yeah, it's pretty, and I don't really believe in that kind of hooey, but pretty awesome.
I mean,
for today,
look, if there is a Star Trek series that believes in that hooey, you know what it is? It's Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
So,
dog teeth scrapes everywhere, but we're gonna keep it here on the desk for the show.
Ellie. In the same way that Jen decorated your mug, Ellie decorated the baseball.
I don't think we have a segment on this today. We'll get started shortly, folks. But like
we have a lot of segments.
Keith said buckle up.
Yeah, buckle up.
Ellie, one of the many things that this show predates.
Is Ellie.
Yes. My house.
Yes?
I
predates
believe
your
you.
House?
Well, we'll see shortly. You see the development of our different studios over time, but...
yeah, no doubt.
No,
yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, you began in Cape May?
No, so in the Oops, and for Out of Practice, go check us out. We also have a great series finale for that.
One of the
So
best.
that crossed from Astoria to Cape May, and then here to New Jersey where we got the house. So I was in the house when we started this.
Interestingly, what I found when I was going through, spoiler alert, I went through every episode we did, as I'm sure you did as well. I mean,
Oh my God, yes.
yeah, all 176, 75.
174.
And there is one episode of this show, must have been one of the first, where I have that stupid mustache and my black nails, and I'm full Gomez Adams, which means we must have started this very shortly after we finished Dupes.
Almost immediately.
Because we don't want to look into the black pit of having nothing to do.
That is devastatingly true.
If you could see the amount of times, and there's been probably only a handful, where we have independently and sometimes collectively been like, this is too much. For as few times as there are, now that we have maybe a gap, we could choose as much time as we want. Keith and I got together last night at 7 o'clock. We were both busting our asses on shows.
There's no gap. Please, there's no gap. Anyway, so I just want to start out by sort of giving a little bit of an overview of the series, of our series. Keith and Mike watch Deep Space Nine. Let's do K&M DS9 by the numbers. So, not counting the watch-alongs, as I have, which would very much count, because it would double this number. There have been 174 episodes of Keith and Mike watch Deep Space Nine. The combined running time of our show is 271 hours, which is a great deal more than Deep Space Nine.
Which I believe is 176 hours, if
not even 176, because there was 173 episodes and they were all 45 minutes long.
Right.
But 140 something. So we doubled up. We doubled up what the running time of Deep Space Nine. So if you're wondering, how much do you, the viewers, watch it? So the views, now of course, these don't count people watching all the way, but we're gonna pretend. So on YouTube, the Deep Space Nine series, at the close of the series, has pulled in 100,000 views.
Wow.
Of our little show, and another 25K on the audio podcast.
That's awesome.
Which is absolutely nothing for a, even moderately successful show. But for us, that is a big deal. And our viewers are better.
Now, Keith,
let's be honest.
I know you have more, but let me just interject here. Stop me if it's on the list later.
Yeah.
Listen, just like Deep Space Nine, I'm looking towards the future. And we all know what the future is. AI. If I was to ask AI what it thought of our show, what would it have said?
Oh, so if you were to go into ChatGPT and ask just the very simple question, what is the best Deep Space Nine review show? And not logged in as me, so it was sucking up. I very smartly did this. At least when I asked it, ChatGPT said us.
And you know what?
So clearly AI doesn't know everything.
Now, to counteract that,
everything we're doing?
Well, yes, that. My mom was here last week, and we were watching a DJ. Okay, I liked when I like ambient sound. I had just put on DJs listening to vinyl records on TV. That's my white noise, one of the many things I use. And I went outside to do some chores. I came back. My mom was still watching it. I was blown away that she hadn't changed the channel. And I said, Mom, why didn't you change the channel? And she says, oh, I like watching your YouTube show. Keith, the DJ was black. But he had glasses and a hat. And my mom thought it was me.
Close enough.
I don't know. Those two things, I think, what I'm saying is I think they cancel out. My mom, not only, she thinks that our show is a black DJ spinning vinyl records. So, I don't know. Can ChatGPT adopt me?
I think that clearly means your mom thinks you're way cooler than you actually are.
Yeah.
There's no question about that.
Oh, I'm sorry I derailed you. Go ahead.
Well, so people like your mom on YouTube have wasted 25.8 thousand hours watching our show, which is, and that was as of about 3 weeks ago.
And that's just this show?
That is just this show. That is 3 years of people watching our absolute nonsense.
Good. It was 3 years of my life, too. You should suffer just as much.
Fair enough. Just audience info, 42, according to YouTube, 42% of you watch on your phone. And only 31% on computer and 19% on TV. And I'm a little bit astounded by that. I guess because I don't watch stuff on my phone. Mm-hmm. But interesting. Yeah. I think we're better in small doses.
Where do you watch YouTube? Do you watch YouTube?
I watch YouTube on either my computer or if I'll have it on my television if I'm looking for live news or something like that.
Yeah, I watch YouTube. This is weird, I guess. 80%, I would say 85% on my television.
Yeah. I mean, if it's a great second, if there's nothing interesting else on for a second or third screen, because I've got a lot of TVs here, so I'll put it up there, if there's, breaking news or whatever. Anyway, that's very interesting. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and I just want to add this as a technical level, and this, Mike, this is you. This is you, buddy. You have contributed, and I don't know what to do with this, but I think we might have the greatest archive of Deep Space Nine screenshots in the universe. Mm-hmm. Better than Paramount, because Paramount is screenshotting from their versions, not the AI upscaled. So, Mike, how many screenshots do you think you took during the show?
So my cadence brings me about 275 an episode, and then I curate that down like some black screens because I just kind of have.
So are you manually taking those? You don't have a script that takes it every 3 seconds?
So I was doing that for a while, and I found that it was radically bad. So many smears and so now I just make my finger do it. Yeah. And on my watch, I just click, 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 and I have a cadence. That's probably roughly every 15 seconds, I guess.
So while you're making pithy comments with the YouTube folks,
I go back and do it a second time.
I say, okay.
And well, I watch on 2 or 3 speed.
Oh wow.
Regardless, I then curate it down to what I try to get between 220 and 250 an episode. So I don't know, math.
So the math on that, Mike, this little clickety click, 35,000 times. So when I went to the screenshots for this episode, I had to work through 35,000 screenshots.
Where are those going to go?
We're going to keep them in an archive somewhere, for sure. They're definitely not going to get deleted. We have the greatest archive. We have the greatest archive.
Our poor nieces and nephews, Keith, as we don't have children. We're going to be like, are you leaving me money? No. Here's a hard drive.
I inherited a thumb drive of Star Trek screenshots. We didn't make any money, that's for damn sure.
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
Amazing. Well, folks, 35,000 screenshots and 271 hours. That's a lot of hours. That's a lot of hours of us. And a lot of time has elapsed. And guess what? We've gone through some changes. We've lived here on camera for you. And Mike has assembled. You can watch us age a little bit. Watch me, get larger and then get less large. Mm-hmm. Mike just gets whiter and whiter and
poofier.
Your mom aside, let's take a look.
I'm just playing with the contrast. That's all.
One shot from every episode. Oh my God.
There were ups, there were downs.
I'm still waiting for the ups. Are there ups?
I was wearing an A-frame t-shirt in a few of these.
You can see my favorite hoodies over and over and over again. Oh, I was in Vermont for a little bit. I was beardless for a hot second.
Still don't have a house yet. Let's buy a house. Hey!
That's right. There it is. Wow. We get quick shots of Mike's hair.
quick little.
Eagles jersey. There it is. April 13th, 2022. Unbelievable.
100.
I mean, I got so much grayer.
Yeah, we.
Yeah, say that, because that's fantastically
We spoke and approximated 1.6 million spoken words between the two of us. That's if you take the DS9 Wikipedia.
Mm-hmm.
3 times over, a rough approximates about what we've blathered on. Now, many of those were not words, as we'll find in a future segment.
Yeah, that's right. We have bloopers coming up,
yes,
which will be interstitial in the middle of all of our stuff here. So stick around, don't miss the bloopers. And if you're listening to this on the ears, come on over to YouTube and see some of these fun things. Because I only listen. I never go to. If I rewatch anything that we do, I'm only listening. I don't always universally.
I would like to, for the tech nerds out there, Keith, I didn't tell you we were going to do this, but let's do it. Let's roughly talk, if we can recall.
Yeah.
When we started, what our process was that we thought we had streamlined from out of practice to where we are now going into Voyager.
Oh boy.
So if I'm not mistaken, we began the show attempting a green screen effect.
Oh, we green screened. Yes, we green screened for 2 seasons, I think.
2 full seasons. Not only that, when we had the panels in the front, I was adding little PNGs as Easter eggs every episode.
You were adding crap on my beautiful visuals,
yes.
Which is a hobby of Mike's.
Now, we weren't green screening locally, Keith, because your computer was dying. So if you recall, you had a green screen, to which then I would take your feed, I would green screen it in real time, poured it over to OBS. No wonder nothing worked.
Buddy, that is 2.0. Originally, I recorded my green screen locally.
Right, and sent it
then
over.
Put it on Dropbox, and then you processed it later.
We did that with the audio, too. We used to actually mix it like a podcast separately, and I was like, this is not going to ever be sustainable. I don't know if we ever... Did we ever do that for Deep Space Nine, or was that just oops? I think we had stopped by the time we got to Deep Space because I got the board, so I can pre-mix everything basically.
Right.
But there is a redundant recording usually that also has all of the separate channels, so if I have to remix, I can do it.
So yeah, we do all that, and so every week what I do is, for every scene, every season, I build up our graphic.
This whole finale Keith made.
This whole finale built out, which is basically PNGs. If you're nerdy, and we use OBS, which can do layers with live video. So I'm doing that every week, and then I have to update like the episode that we're on or whatever. But as we moved forward, I tried to keep that as static as possible per season, because I get bored and I have to redo it every season. So that goes into a Dropbox, which is synced with Mike's, so that most of the time when I update a graphic, I just save it to my Dropbox, and it is auto-populated into Mike's rig here, because Mike is the one who records and edits. So,
which is probably, if you figure, we probably each have, I would say, between an hour to 2 hours of pre and or post work per episode.
Yeah, well,
if you don't count the watching.
Well, because if you add to that, you're watching and me having, and I do a lot of pre-work, researching the episode and writing the summaries.
So, summaries, right?
So I have to watch it, and then the summaries take at least an hour every week to write the summaries, as well as pull up all the information, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so if you ever see like me interjecting, which is what I do professionally, Keith is trying to read something he actually spent a lot of time preparing, and I am continually busting him at the balls. That's
our brand, though. Yeah. That's our whole thing. You should, like our rundown for this episode is absurd.
Yeah,
and I realize we're going to get to about 30% of it and going to work in the order that I wrote, like never. But yeah, so that's our basic workflow.
Yeah, and it's almost all now automated in the fact that going forward, we'll see a preview of it today. We don't have to update the patron slide anymore. Like, we're trying to find ways.
We're getting smarter.
We are, and things are looking so much better than they used to, which is not translating to any sort of numbers, but that does bring me to what did translate. We'll talk about it a little bit later. The biggest change for me during the run of this was introducing the stream. The Patron idea started because you can't make money on YouTube, and we're not looking to make a full-time living, but we're trying to offset the enormous amount of time we spend. And so we moved over to the Patron platform, and that has really enabled us to not just make a little bit of money, but also it opened the door for me to not feel like this experiment was me in a box watching this TV show. Right? It now felt like it was a weekly hangout with my buddies. And that changed the dynamic for me and made it so much less an experiment / project and so much more a fun hobby. If that makes sense?
Yeah, well, I mean, because you're building your own community, and it's like, and it's all of us, right? But like for the most of the time, you do the watch along solo, so you have this like solo separate thing that you get to that you've built, and you have these relationships that are separate from what we're doing here.
Yeah, and those all translate, and a lot of times I get into it, and the patrons are just chatting, and now that patreon.com/K&M has their own streaming platform, it's taken a lot of the hard work out, because I was trying to do it through like setting up a server to have people come. So it's all gotten easier. The numbers have started to increase week over week. I'm hoping that everybody comes over for Voyager 2, and it's just been wonderful, and we'll talk about it later. But
we'll talk more.
We're really thankful.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, we're going to do a lot of that. But one of the first ways that we're going to thank the patrons is to answer the patron questions that we asked for this. But we're going to start out. Not only did we get a question, we got a video from one of our best friends who has been with us from the very beginning.
It's got to be on the Mount Rushmore of K&M, right?
Also has his own Patreon, which is phenomenal. To get 3D print models that he builds himself for everything Star Trek. It is astounding, the amount and the quality of it. I don't have a 3D printer or the ability to do that, but I watch what he does, and every week I marvel. So let's see what JD had to say. Neither one of us have watched this.
No.
Hey, Keith, Mike, just calling to say you did it. You got through the entire series. But now what? Oh, Voyager, yeah. Now we got to get through that. That'll be another 4 to 5 years, depending on how many breaks we take, right?
Oh, I'm gonna be so old.
Yeah. Of course, we still haven't watched all the movies, despite the fact that you've been working on that for 4 years. I think it's about time, right?
Yeah.
Hey, at least we got to the one with the wells. But
I got to save the whales.
I'm proud of you guys, and I've enjoyed every minute, all of the conversations, all of the hot takes, and I look forward to Voyager. See you then.
Really appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah, thanks.
Like, that's promises made, promises 30% kept on our movie watch-alongs. But by the end of Voyager, we will be further along the journey.
Yeah, I mean, the truth is this. I was doing a deep dive into YouTube, and you can get really lost in it. Spoiler, K&M Geekly. It's been something I've wanted to get going again so much. It's finally going to happen again. And there's this debate we've had. Do you put it on the main channel? Do you use the other channel? We've already monetized this channel. That channel's not. Do we want to mess up the algorithm? Are people going to watch? Click-through rate. This, percentage.
Is there an algorithm?
And take a deep breath. That's what it's about. We made no money. We made some friends. And I would say I've some people that feel like family. The emails we get, the people that we've come to know and are joining us and still watching from the beginning. We got an email from somebody who's on like season 2. It means the world. So thank you, JD. We appreciate you.
100%. And that is by far.
We're going to watch the movie. We're continuing all the patron stuff.
We're going to do it. It's going to take a while.
The Patreon is going to become a focus.
It's a spoiler for coming up later. But despite our mediocre follow through on everything that we plan to do, there's 200 plus hours of content that's Patreon exclusive. So go check it out, patreon.com/KNM. So our first question from JD, of course, is number one: if you could rewrite one episode, what would it be? And in as short a way as you can, tell us what you do different. So I have my answer. I'll let you think on that.
Yeah.
So my answer is clearly I would rewrite Jadzia's death.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rewrite that episode. If I don't have the ability to change losing Terry, obviously, which if I would, I immediately would fix that, of course. And I mentioned it before, but what I would do is I would rewrite the last 2 or 3 episodes of that season to give Jadzia one final massive heroic arc with this, where she had to do something that was integral to saving the station, to turning the war, that she's had to sacrifice her life to get some sort of MacGuffin that will turn the tide in the war, and that to make her death heroic and meaningful to the larger story, and also just to have her go out super badass.
Yeah.
That is, she deserves a Rogue One Jadzia edition.
Yeah, my answer would be very similar in what I would choose to, obviously that's the thing. Since you already said that, I would say, I think I would maybe rewrite the finale slightly and just kind of take another stab at the Ducat and win of it all at the end. I just felt like kind of that last sequence was such a great build-up, and then Ben just jumping in the fire with him. It just felt a little truncated. I probably would have said, you know what, guys, let's give ourselves a 3-hour finale and just kind of be completionist about it, and maybe introduce some of the elements of the proposed season 8 from What We Left Behind. I loved the kind of way they saw bringing Ben back. I think we get the vibe from Kira's last shot with the ball. I felt like giving Jake something to hold on to at the end would have been nice. Bittersweet. I love the finale. I'm just saying, if I could, maybe I would give it a little zhuzh.
Well, and it's kind of ties in well to his second question, which is, if you were put in charge of season 8 today, what's a story you would want to see beyond the obvious Cisco returns and we catch up with the crew?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I
dropped it.
Dropped the ball. I dropped the ball. Literally dropped the ball. Yeah, so what do you want to see for... So, again, you're a writer again?
I wouldn't kill Nog. Nog is not dead.
No, certainly not.
I kind of liked what they pitched. I thought the politics of it was a little weird a little convoluted. But I'm down for people yelled at me when I said it reminded me of Picard. What I meant was, I like the getting the band back together story.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then again, I guess, is it now or then? You know what I'm saying?
It's up to you. Pitch your season 8.
It's better now. I think it's better now because the ending was so perfect. The gap lends itself to although instead of the kind of like, I think, how we had the pitch from the writers was, Nog is on the verge of something, he gets killed, and that's why we have to assemble.
Right.
What if what Nog is on the verge of is he found a different kind of wormhole that could potentially lead to Cisco and the Prophets? Like, it is less religious, and there's an actual physical way to enter without having to visit
Prophet Land. Interesting.
And so that's why but he has to keep it super secret because he knows if Section 31 found out, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. No, I like it. That's interesting. I think for me, because you did today, I would go back and, like, let's say it's 1999. I have season 8 in 2000. I think what I would explore in season 8 is sort of the aftermath, right, of after the war, and the big sort of question that got a little bit abandoned, and that is what happens to the Jem'Hadar.
Yeah.
Right? And
I was waiting.
You have these millions of people who were born on this side of the quadrant, right? Mm-hmm. Who some of them might not want to go back to a quadrant they've never been to. They're the dreamers of the quadrant. So how do you set up, or can you find a way to give them an independent life? Hey, Charlie. And what does that look like? Is there a civil war within the Jem'Hadar? How does that play out? I just think that would be an interesting, larger story to deal with as we're working through this, and that gives us an opportunity to have Odo come back and help sort of navigate all of those things. So that's sort of what I would like to see for season 8.
There needs to be an episode, though, where something requires the very specific skills of one Jadzia Dax. And so they do that crazy... Ezri has to do that crazy, seance thing where they could bring them back, right? And we bring her back and sort of buddy cop with Ezri and Dax.
That's great, because, in that sort of not great episode where she had, Turan come back and be a vision in her head trying to get her to shoot people. What if we brought Terry back and she was invisible, but she could talk to Ezri?
Yes, 100%.
There it is. Continuing, I'd love to know what y'all's top and bottom 10 episodes end up being, which we are going to do as a separate episode. Just as a little bonus, not an official episode, just a little quick bonus, because YouTube loves those top 10s. But it would also be cool if you each picked your favorite one-time guest actor. So no Luoxana or Brunt, someone that was only in one episode or a two-parter one-off character.
Okay. So I'm going to do two-part, right? So we won't give away our top 10s.
Right.
But
one-time character.
Can I say my most memorable episode? The one when I think about Deep Space Nine, I'm like, this is the one. Or is that...
We're not talking about episodes yet. We're going to get to episodes.
Okay.
Right now, you got to answer the question. Answer the question, sir. Guest star. One episode guest stars.
Well, of course I forget his name, but the legendary actor within Duet.
Oh, Harris Yulin, yeah.
I mean, that's a performance for the ages in that episode. I mean, that's a two-hander, basically.
Yeah.
Right? I guess we can throw... That's Majel Barrett?
She's there multiple times.
Yeah, so she doesn't count, but that's a two-hander, basically.
Right.
Because of the strength of the performance of those two. So I'm going to say that.
So, yeah, I think that's a terrific answer. For me, I'm going to say something surprising. Because I'm going to rule out Tony Todd as old Jake, because Jake is not a new character.
My God, that's a great episode.
Right?
What about Cisco Dad? Too many?
Too many. He did multiple episodes, a bunch of episodes. So for me, I'm also gonna go season 1, which was not a favorite of anyone at all. But it's just because I happen to find this character very memorable, both in how he looked and I'm gonna say Tosk.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was the first compelling one-off guest episode for Deep Space Nine that I was emotionally invested in. Captive Pursuit. And I thought was you know what? That was just a memorable character. It's always one of those hidden gems in season 1 where I'm oh, that if I had to after the pilot, but let's watch something early in season 1 that says a little bit about what the show's going to be.
I can't believe neither of us picked The Masked Magician.
Yeah, amazing. Well, we did. Turan got a mention already. So Hibernation Pod asks, what is a good question, and I know the answer to this, but I'm going to make Mike answer it first. What would you have done if Mike didn't like Deep Space Nine? Say a season into it, he's I just don't feel this, man.
I don't think anything different would have taken place.
That is exactly right. I would have forced you to watch it.
There's something about that, actually. To be frank, I didn't love The Practice as much as you did. It didn't really capture me it means the project means more than the show ended up meaning. This is different, I would say, but we saw that through. I like what bothers me when watching older properties is knowing that there isn't a full set. That bothers my spectrumness. That bothers a bunch of things. So it's like I know people are like, oh, there's only 3 seasons of Pushing Daisies or whatever, or 2 or whatever, but you got to watch it. And I'm like, that's not, I don't think that's what I'm thinking.
I need a satisfying finale to watch a series. No question.
Yeah, and someone's got to be like, it's not bad, right? You, like Lost, I ain't going back because I'm not. That doesn't go where I want it to go. But you see what I'm saying. So that's actually what's getting me. Speaking of spoilers, we'll talk about that later. But a lot of people got a lot of hate for Voyager, and that I'm not allowing that to put a pall over what the next few years of my life is going to be because. There, you have to find what you respect about the show, and maybe great. It's great to go back to a show that you love and be like, "Look how much I love it." But maybe going back to a show that you've compared unfavorably to something else, you might be able to find something new to appreciate. Yeah,
no, for sure. And my answer for that question of like, what would we have done if Mike hated the show? And I think you're right. I think we would have muscled through it. But there's for 2 reasons. One is because Mike is an intensely loyal dude.
True.
And like if he says he's going to do something, Mike does it. And we have worked through any number of projects that were challenging to work our way through. But the real answer is the answer that you gave, and that is the pursuit, the project that we're building together as a collaboration, as a friendship, as a whatever, always supersedes the topic. And it was like the good episodes are the bad episodes are just as fun, if not more fun, to talk about than the great ones. And so what's fun for us, at least, is exploring this together as a friendship, and it's magical. It's wonderful when the property is fantastic, like it was for this. But it doesn't. It's kind of less about that. It just makes it more fun. But I think what makes the project inherently fun is us just goofing around.
Especially projects like this. I think the last project. I guess any project. I won't get too deep into this, but it wouldn't be a K&M podcast if we didn't talk a little bit about it. We've had some political conversations, life conversations, global conversations that people have kicked back about, said that we shouldn't do it, said that we're too on one side of the fence. But that's not the point. The point is there are plenty of podcasts you can go listen to if you want to just straight focus on the show.
Right.
The topic of the day. Cool. I don't yuck anybody's yum. But what we have organically kind of developed is that we're using media as a way to sort of, which is what I think art is about, reframe our experience through this one path we got. And it's made us recontextualize things we've experienced, things we're experiencing in real time, change our minds, explore our biases, things of that nature. And that can happen through a mediocre show too. Yeah. It's the conversation.
100%. And this is more of like a at the wrap it up conversation, but like, what I think a podcast on a topic is, it's a friendship discussion with a topic as to give you a structure.
There's a couple of podcasts I listen to because I like a topic, and then I explore those 2 hosts, their other stuff, just because I like hanging out with them.
Yeah, there it is. Anyway,
if we actively annoy you, you shouldn't watch us.
Oh, they're long gone.
Yeah.
So Aroha asks, what is something you wish they would have explored more? Storyline or a character?
Well, you already mentioned the Jem'Hadar. I think they teased so many cool lore opportunities, right? The Ketasa White, the people who were potentially developing a way to resist that addiction.
Right. The consequences of that conceptually.
Yeah, so cool. And we just kind of leave it on the vine. I think, go back to what I just said, like, and they say in the documentary, like, sexual identity as a concept, when you're talking about all these different races and exploration, like,
100%.
it's exploding in our current experience because people are talking about things now, and you realize, oh, it's not 2 things. Oh, it's not 4 things. Oh, it's endless. Imagine if you extrapolate that galaxy wide or quadrant wide. And just today, you could just tell so many more interesting stories that I'll let them off the hook a little bit and say they couldn't. I think they felt they couldn't. I wish they had.
Yeah. I think that's the perfect answer.
Yeah.
I think there could have been so much more mined there. And again, couldn't, right? Obviously Berman was homophobic and was not on board with it, but I think, again, it's sci-fi. You can talk about anything. You just you make it, under the guise of some sort of sci-fi. I think Ira Stephen Bear is honest about it. He's like, yeah, I could have done more. And he wishes that he had. He wishes he had then, wishes he had now. I totally get it, and I do too. I would have loved to have a queer character on the show that wasn't just sort of like coded. Just let it be what it is. So I couldn't agree with you more. I think just very simply, other than the Jem'Hadar, I feel like we could have explored Jake more. I feel like Jake got thrown to the side. I understand where they were going for, and he didn't have those sort of exciting developments that I think in a lot of ways the exciting development that probably would have been Jake's stories became Nog's stories, because Nog sort of became the more interesting character. But I feel like there was more there with Jake's being a war reporter. And we address it a little bit here and there, but there's ripe opportunities for conflict, with him wanting to tell the stories, them wanting to keep stuff secret, and a lot of relevancy, today, right, with media and how that could have played a role. We have Section 31, we have the Federation, we have a lot of different story avenues we could take there if we use Jake as a vehicle to speak about news and media and information, and I would have loved to have seen that. 2 from Aroha. What was something you were surprised by in watching your first Star Trek show? That's for you, Mike. What surprised you?
So, what surprised me, I think, the most, conceptually at least, is, I guess because my whole life, Star Trek, at least for me, in pop culture, was very much about Next Gen. Not even the original series. Next Gen sort of became the sort of placeholder for the idea of Trek, at least in my view.
They became our generation's Kirk and Spock.
And so, with my limited but not ignorance of Next Gen, I kind of just assumed this was going to be tonally, visually, conceptually similar. And I just don't feel that way. This feels so much more cinematic for the most part. Visually, the way it's shot, the storytelling, and I guess the meaty center of my comment is the moral complexity. Much less so in the stuff I've watched of Next Gen. It's pretty much, the good guys, the bad guys, who gonna win how. Whereas this is almost never that. Even in the most funny, quote-unquote, Ferengi episode, there is 1 or 2 beats or moments where you're like, wow, that our protagonist is behaving in a way that is making me question whether they are the protagonist. Right. And that I was not expecting. I thought when you were pitching this and when people were talking to me about what makes this show great, it was because it's pew-pew war. And it is not that at all. I mean, it is, but that's not what makes it. And that's my biggest surprise, is the moral complexity.
Yeah. I think that's a great answer. Goo Babies asks, who put Goo Babies? Fantastic. Who put the bop in the bop to bop to bop? And who did put the ram in the Ramalama Ding Dong?
Well, I'll be honest with you.
Hmm.
Terry Farrell put the bop in the bop on a couple of occasions, if you know what I'm saying. Especially that episode where they like go in the little goo pool.
Yeah.
A couple other spots too, you know.
But the ram and the Ramalama Ding Dong, huh?
Yeah. Well, you can never have too much RAM.
Yeah, it's very expensive these days. We're giving it to China for AI. More importantly, what character had your favorite arc? And what character had your most surprising arc?
My favorite arc, I think the most complete, satisfying arc is Rom, for me.
Interesting.
From where he starts, you just fall in love with him. You fall in love with him as a father, as a brother, as a I was talking to my therapist about this yesterday. Often my New Year's resolutions are like, be a better friend, be a better man, be a better husband. Awesome. But that's very general, right? And you got to get into the specifics if you really want to make goals. Ram is a great model because he actively becomes expresses and models how to be a sibling, even when it's challenging. He shows vulnerabilities and shows how to be masculine, even in his relationship, even without being toxically masculine. He defies a culture to pursue his happiness, even though it's not about profits, and even though it has to do with, and then still ends up the freaking leader, right? He still has a satisfying ending and shows kindness and compassion when I didn't want him to. I mean, it's satisfying, it's surprising, it's amazing from just a conceptual artistic standpoint, from like a write-off character to a huge thing. So my hat to Rom and to Max Grodenchik, and that was my most satisfying, my most surprising arc. Oof. I'll come back to that. You go to your first one first.
Okay, so I'm not quite sure whether these are on the surprising or the favorite. So I'm just gonna nominate two, and you pick which one is which. But my two are Nog, who went on a shocking journey from annoying little kid, a mischievous, annoying little kid, to over rambunctious cadet. Open-eyed dreamer, going through war, going through trauma, and becoming an adult in the deepest, darkest, and most profound ways, and an immensely satisfying journey to watch Nog grow. And my other choice is Odo. Right. I don't think that there is a deeper, more complex, morally, the most powerful, and yet I think also the most vulnerable character on the show, who is both timeless and, the old man detective, and also a child in some ways, as an insecure teenager. And he is truly a shapeshifter emotionally, in a way that, I don't mean physically. I mean, he's a grouchy old cop with Quark. And he's an insecure teenager with Kira. He has a weird relationship with his parents, essentially, right? And he hasn't really figured out. And he grows and develops and changes. And we watch. He's every age. He's every relationship. He's everything all at once. And I think watching his arc his growth is astounding. We'll talk more about this when we get into the episode things, but yeah, those are my two.
All right. Well, since we're cheating and giving two answers now, for my most surprising, I have two that I will say are tied. You can choose.
Oh, so now it's three. All right, now.
And I guess these are two surprising ones because they have no right. I'm surprised that they were able to pull it off. Let's put it that way. One I would say is Damar. It happened so fast, and it happened from such a place of stock. I thought he was sort of like a cast aside, suck up to Ducat, who's drinking too much, like cartoonishly drinking. We talked about this on the episode, but like one of the things I hate the most in plays and art is when someone who's never drank a drop in their life or smoked weed, and all of a sudden is trying to play drunk or high, and you're like, oh, this is just. And that's, I'm not saying that the actor was doing that, but that's how it was played at the top. And then somehow threaded that needle to like him giving up the bottle to become the best version of himself, to become the sort of like hero of Cardassia. You're like, what?
Right. Yeah, turn the whole war.
Turn the whole war. So that shocked me. And it floored me too. I didn't see it coming. And then the other one I would say is the Odo-Kira relationship. I just had no belief that it was going to, like when the flirtation started, when they switched over and had her be into it. I liked the dynamic when it seemed like it was an unrequited love.
Right. Which it was for a long time.
Yes. There was something really interesting and vulnerable about that.
He got friend-zoned for years.
And like the choice to make her start to buy in felt like it could go south.
Yeah,
like,
big risk. Real big risk.
Big risk. And my fear, because you played your part great in not giving stuff away. My biggest fear was that it was one of those things they were going to pursue and then abort.
Right.
And that we were going to see like a jettison of it somehow with
Never
a death
mind.
or whatever, right?
Right.
But instead, Nana Visitor sells it. That scene where they kiss is so cliche, works. And then the whole dynamic of it, they never go back and forth. It's a modeled, very respectful, mature relationship you just don't see on television because it's not.
And by the end, like the emotionally satisfying, heartbreaking part, the ending of it was one of the finales of the entire series, and like I can't believe they earned this.
Yes, and it's a mutual parting.
Yeah.
Which is not dramatically interesting in any way on television. If you bring it up in a pitch meeting, people are like, and then what's the dramatic tension?
Right.
They pull it off, they earn it. So those are my two answers.
No, that's great. And that actually ties nicely into Jason Moe's question.
Jason!
Which you answered on the live stream, so you can do an abbreviated version here, but I think it's a great question. So, Mike, now that all is said and done, which major spoilers were you actually aware of ahead of time? And, you know, we had to keep kayfabe, so that, you know, we don't want Mike to know, you know, because if you knew, he knew, it'd be no fun. So he has to imagine there were at least a few. So were there any actual things that you had to kayfabe?
So in 7 seasons 1, I was at a party at a friend's house, and we were talking about the project, and someone said, "Did you get to New Dax yet?" Which, you know,
Sucks.
I can't just let it go. I think it was actually around season 4, so enough time passed that but, I mean, I pretty much cleared that something was going to happen with Dax. She was going to probably die, and did. So I would say that is the one spoiler. But truthfully, everything else landed. I somehow avoided it. I have no idea. Especially once you start Googling stuff and, like, your algorithm gets filled, it's hard.
Look, you were dedicated, and I shouted at a lot of people who support us and give us money. So
You did. Although I
Somebody had to be the
predicted
bad
for
cop.
seasons that Cisco wasn't going to die. But I don't know that he did. And I think it's more because you can't avoid it. All these new tricks play so much remember berries, where they're like, oh, we're bringing back so-and-so, we're bringing back so-and-so. Now, what saved it is that we said early on in the companion, when I was allowed to read it back in the day, that Avery has fallen out of public life, especially as an actor. And so it stands to reason why he's not going on other shows. So it wasn't necessarily a guarantee, so that I was able to avoid that.
Yeah. And lastly, Keith Blank asks, great question. Mike, now that you have seen it all, and you have dedicated years to the journey, was it worth it?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Love the show. It's become one of my favorite shows, period. I've loved this period of time. And I loved the practice, right? I'll always remember that was a blast we had. But in no way did that project translate into like part of my personality, my being. This did. I mean, I got toys everywhere. I'm like a Trek person now.
You are, buddy.
So my therapist asked me about it. She's like, "What's on the shelf over there?" I was like, "Oh," she's like, "You're into Star Trek?" I was like, "Well, no, but yes, actually."
Yes.
It used to be like, oh, my buddy Keith is, and he's like pulling me along for this journey. And I was like, nah, I can't lie. This is my thing now. So,
Mike, I think you've got to check mind virus. You've totally got to check mind virus. All right, so last thing in our patron section, we also have patron presents.
oh man. All right. Well,
So JD sent us each a box. It's written on the side. Do not open until Deep Space Nine wrap. And guess what? Here we are. This is the Deep Space Nine wrap. We are going.
so we should do this simultaneously, I think, because
I believe it is the same thing for each of us. I am so excited. This has been sitting on my shelf. For weeks.
it's actually it's become a fixture on the show. Oh, did I just dox myself? Damn it.
I think it was too quick. I think you're all right.
Um,
Guys, Mike loves a drop in. Loves a drop by.
we've been having a war because people are just not picking up the dog poop. There's and people are getting dog walkers and they're not picking up the poop, and so our neighborhood's getting poop filled. And so I went on the Facebook today and was like, I just want everybody to know because I'm OCD, I have tagged every animal in the neighborhood with my camera, and I have a separate hard drive space. Every time a dog poops within a certain tag on my lawn, I've got a rundown. So if you want to know, if you want to be put on blast, I can do it. The second you need it, I can do it.
That is the oldest thing you have ever said. You have become that guy?
I've always been that guy. I used to chase people down the street at Astoria Park telling them to slow down.
Slow down.
Okay, it says here.
All right.
Let's see if I can get that one.
It says, gently remove all at once. Okay. All right, we ready?
1,
Here we go.
2, 3.
I'm gently removing all at once.
I've got some stickers, some Quark's bar. Oh man, I love these stickers.
Shall we do the paper first?
Oh my effing god.
Holy crap. Look at that.
Yours has got better contrast control right now, but
Oh, my camera's better than your camera. My camera was $42. This is getting framed.
oh,
That's so
100%.
fantastic.
Hold on, let me get
Wow.
a better shot.
It actually even has like my Phil Sims drawing. That's amazing. A cat. Do you have to step on everything? That is
That
fantastic.
is really cool.
That is
Oh, there's something else here.
awesome. Yeah, let's read. Oh my god,
Oh my goodness. Keith, want to give it a read?
Yes, I will. Oh my god, this is fantastic. What? We, the collected members of the internet, in regard to your achievements in completing the podcast in entirety of the viewing and assessment of Star Trek Deep Space Nine by two cis-het liberal-leaning white guys named Keith and Mike, have selected you for receiving this award, to be received by Michael Indeglio and Keith Varney. The honors presented to you with this award. Thank you for the work, and may Kalis have mercy on your soul.
Oh, I cannot wait. Okay, so we're gonna frame these two things together, and I'll put it with the Deep Space Nine poster, right?
Oh yeah, that's gonna look beautiful on the wall. JD is incredibly well represented on my my wall. That is fantastic.
There aren't many people I would extend this to. Quite a few in our family, but I would say, JD, if you're ever in Pennsylvania, to hit me up. You come over. We'll have lunch. We'll hang out. We'll sip some Canar. Okay, should we open the paper here?
Let's open the paper here. Let's open the object. Be very, very gentle.
Oh shoot!
Shut up. You have got to be kidding me.
Oh my god, nobody knows what we're talking about. We got
Ready?
an Alamaremi, Keith.
We literally got Alamaremes!
My face.
That is unbelievable. Look at that with the base, and it even says Keith and Mike watch Star Trek.
Oh, it does.
It does.
Come on, camera.
Holy moly. This is astounding.
Man, my camera's not doing it. You've got it.
and it's literally
Okay, so you put this
graphic that I
put this
made.
bit on here.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't see the.
There's a base.
Oh, it's got the base, and when it fits in together.
Yeah.
Look
Did they break?
at.
Oh, I think I need a little glue.
No. Oh, did it?
Yeah, this popped off.
Oh, you need a little glue. That's all right.
Not a problem.
Look
That's her feet. Okay.
at. That's not her. That's the.
Him.
That's the Waddy guy.
All right, I'll do a little glue.
Holy crap. This might be one of my favorite possessions
Yeah,
in
this is
all
it.
of
This is the
space and
one.
time. Holy crap. JD, good lord. He's got a phaser.
That's crazy, dude. That is beyond my wildest imagination.
How did you do? You know what? This is what I mean about JD's
I just bought
Patreon.
super glue, by the way.
Like JD's Patreon, about getting these 3D sculpts that he's doing. He 3D sculpted this to make this. That is astounding.
Oh, I'm so excited.
The talent necessary to make
Well,
this.
not only that,
so
but
if you're wondering
put
about
a
the
little-
quality of what he's,
Put some.
got the basic. You can hide some important stuff in there.
I'm gonna put some of my what are the latinum in here?
Oh yes, I mean but if folks are wondering, go to JD's Patreon, and you're wondering, we'll link it in the comments below. If you're wondering the quality of the 3D sculpts that he's making available on there, this is the quality of the 3D sculpts that he's talking about. So, that worth your time, that worth your money. Holy moly!
You know, I'm gonna do, Keith, is
I'm so
over the
excited
years
about this.
we've received so many fun little things from viewers over on Toys who sometimes send little nice notes. I think I'm gonna fold all those little nice notes up and place them inside the Ella Memory.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Because right now they're just sitting on the shelf.
You can keep your Ella memories in there.
You know what? That was good.
What?
Got to give you your flowers when you deserve them.
Wow! Oh my God! I kind of want to stop the show and just play with it for the next 3 hours.
Yeah,
but
I'm really actually I'm jonesing to fix it. I need to fix it.
You're gonna have to put that out of your eyesight, out of your watch.
I got to put it out of Cat's sight.
Yes. No. This has to be protected, like the Freshik 1-of-1 artifact.
It is
Wow.
the only award that I've ever received that I didn't make for myself. You know what I think we might have to do, Keith? I'm
What's
announcing this to you for the first time right now.
Right.
Here's what I think. So, starting when Voyager opens up, when we relaunch Geekly and stuff, one of the other things we're going to do is open a little merch store because it's easier to do that now. So, like, if folks want to get something, you don't have to. But I think maybe once that launches, we do a little collab with JD, have him design something like a shirt or whatnot.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then we can make sure that the proceeds, if there are any, no promises,
that's a cute idea.
go towards help supporting his channel as well.
Love it. I think that's great. Collab on merch. Love it. All right. So our next segment is we're going to talk through some of the episodes a little bit, but we're going to do this through character because Deep Space Nine sort of is incredibly character focused, character based. So we're going to just sort of talk through all of the characters, and by the way of getting through that, we're probably going to talk through all of the series and our favorite episodes and such. But I figured, because I know Mike's brain, he could probably use a little refresher.
True.
On what happened previously on Deep Space Nine. So I made a little video of every one of the slates, the YouTube slates that I made for the series. So let's just do a quick little view so you can get at least a little flash, a little memory of every episode of Deep Space Nine.
Wow, Odo changed so much, huh? Oh
Changed
yeah,
a
Battle
lot.
Lines was great. Storytelling great. There were some bangers in that first
Right,
season.
this is season 1, right? Dramatis Personae, not one of them.
Oh yeah.
Here into season 2. Love that shot of Cisco.
Oh. Oh, Keiko.
Yeah. Oh, that lady.
Oh, the McKee, right. We're gonna spend a lot of time with them, aren't we?
Yeah, we're gonna spend some, yeah. There's a lot of O'Brien shirtless. We know what gets clicks.
Oh, there was the goo pool.
There's the goo pool.
Oh, right, Kira in the
Right, when they
Obsidian
tricked her.
Order.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Time travel, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If you're just listening to the audio of this, I bet it's amazing.
Oh, Bullion.
Bullion!
Oh yeah, the visitor, dude. Oh, that
Little
one where
green man.
they break in, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the emo.
Emo Odo.
That was a JD special, right?
It was. Oh,
yeah.
Poor O'Brien must suffer.
Yeah, it was like 50 years in his mind prison.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. We healed everybody.
Naked Odo.
Naked Odo. Yeah, that's what everybody wants. Oh.
Oh, Trials and Tribs.
Trials, yeah. Oh, remember when they're going up the mountain?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Odo meets his dad.
Right. We see the doctor. Odo gets some.
Odo's gotten quite a bit over the series.
You know, weirdly, he's cleaned up better than the rest of us.
Oh, Wei Yun enters the storm.
Yes.
Rocks and Shoals, right?
Right. We're already in season 6.
Oh
Sacrifice
yeah,
of
the
Angels.
wedding.
Yes.
Oh yes, Cisco Probability. That was a good one. Weird, but good. Oh yeah.
Far Beyond the Stars. One
little ship was fun. Yeah, that's like a.
Hey, people hate it. I love it.
It's like a what do you call it? A guilty pleasure.
Pale Moonlight.
Oh, come
His
on.
Way. Oh. Prophet and Lace. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, Time's Orphan.
Oh boy.
There she is. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Hollow Sweet. Once more into Bridge Great Siege. Yes.
Oh,
Only
Paper Moon.
Good lord. Right, that's the Field of Fire.
Bada Bing.
I love it. Yes.
I mean, all of these, right?
Right.
I almost
Back
wonder
into
if,
the
like,
wind.
I wanted to ask you this before. When we do top 10 it, do we count that last shoot as like one runner?
It's a good question. I mean, I guess it is up to us. We get to choose.
I would say that would help us diversify the list a bit.
Yes, yeah. I think continuing stories. I think like the last 6 episodes isn't fair, but like, I think continue. 2 or 3 story arcs, if there's a to be continued, should be counted as one episode. That's sort of how I'm thinking about it.
All right. Well, so what is this discussion, brah?
All right. Well, first off, just for people curious, our top 5 episodes by view.
Oh.
As of January 7th.
By view, as in like the view
viewers
count.
on YouTube,
Okay, yeah.
the view counts.
So more than 10 is what you're saying.
More than 10 views. That's right. So our top 5 episodes by view, not surprisingly, number 1 is Emissary. A lot of people come in and like, hey, are these idiots any good? And most of them think, no.
Fair.
And the rest of them kind of make sense. Number 2, In the Pale Moonlight, of course. Number 3, Duet, of course. Season 1. Want to dip in a little later, thinking did they get their shiz together?
No.
Number 4, The Search Part 1. You want to sort of start with the beginning of the Dominion arc? That makes perfect sense. And the 5th top 5 episodes is Way of the Warrior.
Interesting.
Of course. Well, Way of the Warrior, legendary two-parter.
Yeah, but I
one of
would have
the best
thought Trials
episodes.
and Tribs. I would have thought Paper Moon. I would have thought.
They were all up there, but those are the top 5. Those are just it's just the truth. So before we talk about the characters, you're right. We people asking, hey, did they were these idiots any good? Did they get their S together? Let's find out in our first season 5 bloopers.
Yeah, should we have to explain why there's only season? So, I didn't start doing the bloopers until season 5. Well, then there was a big argument because Keith was like, "Why are you putting them at the end?"
Yeah, no one's gonna see them.
And he's not wrong. But
The other answer as to why there weren't any bloopers in the first 4 seasons, because we were flawless.
yeah, that.
We were obviously flawless.
Where? Oh, look, I should be here. Okay, so yeah. So anyway, this doesn't need a setup.
Because only JD watches the last 90 seconds.
Most people would prefer their butt plugs wet. This is not safe for work, by the way.
Too late. Like I eat out. I eat lunch. No, that's not what I meant. You know what I mean. And
this
then
is why I have
the
a
chicken
beard.
has to ascend the
Even
duck
further.
hole.
Yeah, there's so many holes.
Yeah, bring my toys. Damn it.
Hey, Shakar, get the hell out of here. We don't like you, and you're wasting good
You're wasting good va. All right. So what word were you thinking you were gonna start with that starts with va?
You're so soft and round and gooey. Make your form. Find your.
I mean, if you don't make a poster of it, did it really ever happen?
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, like I hope I'm aging gracefully into my weird old perv era. I am a very diligent hand cream person. I have the hands of a 12-year-old girl, but
The hands of a 12-year-old girl. Ta-ta. Wormhole. Everything starts somewhere, Keith.
yeah, it sure does. It just lands on the palate with a different flavor when it's done that way.
Odo doesn't have to poop anymore. He's done pooping.
No more pooping.
Back to gooping.
All goop, no poop.
All right, we'll see you next week, folks. Barack keeps texting me.
Doing a podcast.
All goop, a little poop.
For all.
You may now head to your lockers and then to first period. Any butt
hell
you want
was
to
that?
send?
Send me your butts.
What if in our production we decided Friar Tuck has a big death scene? Friar Tuck. Who's Friar Tuck? A murderous. Deep Space Nine. Lighthearted murder.
Delightful murder.
Murder?
Murder. Just
murder.
murder somebody. Look at my body. I was
Look at my butt?
Look at my body. Look at my body. Mike, I have here a Phil Simms autographed. Let me start again. That was terrible.
It's that or Diddy Lube.
No. Speaking of intensely uncomfortable, I can see I need to Photoshop a certain little spark there because I have a migratory mole on my forehead.
Consider my root growing, Keith.
It. Wow. We are children.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Wow.
Look at my butt. Look at my butt. Friar. We were talking about, if I'm not mistaken, we were talking about Romeo and Juliet. And I was trying to talk about how there was the apothecary, and I called him Friar Tuck.
Oh, okay.
I believe it's a character from Robin Hood.
It is. It is a character from Robin Hood.
I think that's what that was all about.
Get
All right.
thee to a Friar Tuck.
Dumb people.
I can't believe you people watch this. Shame on you, frankly.
I got to do the bloopers from the beginning in Voyager.
Oh, of course you do.
Yeah.
Of course you do. Well, you know what? We'll catch it up next series.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk through our characters. We're going to start with all of our recurring characters, and let's start with the one who changed the most. I don't mean as a character. I mean the actress playing her, and that is Zial. Tell me what you remember of Zial. What were your feelings about Zial?
I think Zial was helpful in helping enhance the palpable, dramatic disdain betwixt Kira and Dukat.
Mm-hmm.
I thought her sort of origin story as the illegitimate Dukat daughter was hidden away was really interesting. I don't know that it satisfyingly found its way into, like, remember she was like a failed artist for a little while, and
Oh yeah, she was bad.
yeah, Keith really stuck in his craw. But what I think I remember the most about her that was the most successful is her demise. Jaw drop moment on the watch
Spoiler
along. Yeah. When Damar blasts her dead, and you think, like, there's no way that you could never tell me in that moment that Kira and him would have to work together in the finale, but that is where we get to. So I think that little breadcrumb of her story arc is the most effective part. Of course, there was some maternal stuff with Kira, and then there's a weird romance with Garrick that they tried. We can jettison all that. We stuck the landing where it needed to.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Zial is tough for me because I think she didn't have as much of a character as she was a plot point. She was obviously trying to, change Dukat's character in reference to her. It was Kira, but really she was just there to butch up Garrick, and I hated that. It was weird. It was uncomfortable for two reasons. One, because Garrick's gay. Just let him be gay,
right?
For God's sake. And two, the age difference. Now, of course, they used 3 different actresses to play Zial, but it was always uncomfortable when they were trying to, like, put her with Garrick. So, but I thought an interesting little side character on Deep Space Nine. Let's talk about somebody whose romance I was on board for, and that is Cassidy Yates.
Yeah, the first time
Penny Johnson-Gerald.
The first time we see her, Keith and I made the joke that she's a brand marketing expert because her Yates shipping stickers are everywhere. Another one of those characters where I think that the actress earned herself a plot.
Mm-hmm.
And then they wrote her off, basically. When she went to prison, she did hard time, if we recall.
She did some time.
Yeah.
Did some time.
And I thought that was the end of her. But then she comes back, and her third act, I think, is... we talk a lot about this show, about things that, especially as in 90s television, are just not represented. One, stable, mature relationships. Stable, mature relationships as second relationships, right? Like, this is Sisko's first coming
second
to
marriage.
Yeah, second marriage. She also does not sacrifice. She doesn't hallmark herself, right? She doesn't sacrifice her future, her career, her aspirations because of this relationship. And I think it's really wonderful. I loved her turn in the Far Beyond the Stars episode. I loved her turn in, I think it was Bada Bing, where the sort of Ocean's 11 episode.
Right.
And I think she expresses some great pathos in the finale. So I really enjoyed Penny as an actress, and I enjoyed Cassidy much more than I thought I would.
And so, for the record, 15 episodes for Cassidy Yates. Cut up next, of course, our good friend Vic Fontaine.
I can't believe people don't like this character. I can't.
Yeah.
I need to read more about what it is.
I think I think you're either on board with incorporating music as part of the show or not. And I know that some people have said that the style of music was like, oh, it's the writers putting their favorite style of music into it. But, like, let me just throw an alternative there. As opposed to doing timeless standards.
Yeah, right.
Let's say, like, he was like a Vanilla Ice kind of a character.
Dude, I was going to say Ice Ice Baby.
It was Ice Ice Baby instead. And how freaking dated and how, like, that would be so cringe. So they needed something timeless.
100%. That is, I think, rights probably has something to do with it, too. It's cheaper to do standards, but because ASCAP.
For sure.
Also, you're right. It makes it timeless. It also is a very intentional anachronism, and there's a successful video game series you might not know. It's called Fallout. It's also a really popular property on Amazon Prime as a TV show. It's very good, by the way. And their big thing is it's a sort of a retro. It's like a junction point in the 50s, the atom bomb era,
Right.
and they use a lot of old 40s big band kind of tunes as their main theme, and it's that tonal anachronism does something. It I don't know. So, but that aside, the music aside, I would say if there's a criticism, it's they never just give him like a verse and a chorus. Buddy gets the whole number every time, probably because they're paying the session musicians.
I'm in for it.
I'm here too. I'm
here for it. And he obviously, I think the other thing about the time of the music, beyond being timeless and the rights issues, they found a way to make it relevant to the storytelling.
Always.
And making, and Cisco's problems with, a holodeck series set in this time period because of the racism in that era, because we've solved that now. We don't have that problem anymore. But I think it really added it, and it made it deeper. And that sort of a fantasy that Nog was able to go into. And he was a great character. I loved giving him autonomy. I loved having him be such a wise figure. And he had moments with almost every person in the cat. I mean, helped Nog work through war trauma, helped Odo and Kira get together, helped Quark deal with everybody else going out for the battle in the finale. And it was just, he was such a great character. Bada Bing Bada Bang was a really fun episode for me. I loved it. Love Vic. I'm here for Vic.
Yeah, me too. And I think that's the biggest shock, is that you think it's just going to be a one-off, but it turns out James is like a really good actor, has some incredible turns, and going back to an earlier question, I would have loved to explore the sort of this AI character. Is he constrained? Is he not constrained? Like, what the dynamic of it's really interesting sci-fi.
I'd love a day in the life with Vic episode.
Yeah, I love the
Season
concept of them
definitely
leaving the
would have
program
had
running.
Yeah, like season 8, definitely a Vic story about like what does it mean to be a conscious 24/7 holodeck character. That would be really interesting.
Yeah, we're Team Vic. Sorry for those who aren't.
Yeah. So another character, boy, do I love, and that is Martok. What an incredible character. The progressive, humble Klingon leader who, when we first meet him, he was a changeling, remember? And so he becomes a best friend and a mentor to Worf, and Jadzia, and Worf joins the House of Martok, and J.J. Hertzler also plays 2 other characters on the show, including Laws, and and in the very pilot there, you see him as the Vulcan first officer on Cisco's ship.
Wait,
and
he's Laws?
Yes, dummy. We talked about that for a long time on the episode.
Well, I forgot that entirely. That's awesome. So here's probably one of my hottest takes, Keith. You ready for it?
Let's hear it.
I'm about as meh on Martok as you can be.
Really?
And I know how he's one of your tops. I think J.J. Hertzler is incredible. I think a lot of the storytelling I get it, but the character, there's no rah-rah in me for him.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say...
no dislike. It's just like...
All right. Well, watching these screenshots, I do have to be rah-rah for his skincare regimen after he loses the eye, because his skin becomes beautiful. I don't know what product he's selling, but I want to, because it'll be coming up here when we first see him. Yeah, his skincare.
He's moist and gooey.
Like he really smoothed that. See, look at that. It looks like a monster. And he comes back looking good. So, I'm a Martok person, whatever. Next up is the female changeling. Talk about a pivotal character. Head of the Founders, became kind of the biggest of the baddest at this point.
Yeah.
We had, there were plenty of other evil characters, but no evil and powerful more than the female changeling.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of bravery in the or courage, I should say, in the writing of this character, because the idea of, okay, we're going to make this like sort of genocidal leaning baddie,
or just flat out was.
Yeah. But we're going to write her down the middle, basically. Yes, she kind of has some manic points, but always when backed in a corner. And every time she has a moment with Odo, or there's a lot of empathy that it seems honest, and they play that sort of duality that you get in Garrick a bit. Garrick seems when he plays it, it's more obfuscating as a verb, like he's doing it on purpose. Her, it's sort of just her nature, right? We don't quite know where it all fits, and they play that all the way to the end. I mean, they see it through. Yes, she goes a little crazier at the end, but I think her intention, what she's playing, right? We always think, as actors, you think, like, what am I trying to achieve? What do I want? What she wants is clear from the beginning. She wants us out of there, right? She wants to protect her people, and she's doing that by creating a sphere of influence in this quadrant. Everybody else stay away, and I need to get all my people back, right? She's just an Australian shepherd herding those sheep back in the fence, Keith.
I mean, a genocidal shepherd.
What are we doing to her, though? Like, to say she's the bad guy means we're the good guy, and I don't know that I agree with that ultimately.
But here's the thing. We didn't do anything to them. We went through the wormhole. End of story.
Well, unfortunately, aren't we sort of Section 31 too?
Well, but that was after. She started it.
Incredible character, and really smart from a production standpoint, because you get to represent an entire population
through one
person
character.
And like a brown pool.
Yeah. They did some really smart work with Wei Yun and the female shapeshifter to have individual people represent the Dominion in a way that made sense. So Salome Jens plays female shapeshifter for 15 episodes. That's it. Only 15 episodes, but incredibly impactful. The character's fascinating because she's so manipulative. I mean, remember Heart of Stone, where she pretends to be Kira trapped in the stone to manipulate Odo. And then she, tries to murder all the Cardassian people. And it is fascinating. And perhaps really the most Star Trek part of the finale of the classic Star Trek part of the finale of Deep Space Nine is that the thing that solves the war is Odo showing her mercy. Now, this does not mean that she got off without consequence. She still went to prison and all of that. But what changed everything was him showing her mercy, which was, when I think understandably you think, well, she doesn't deserve it, but did, which was I thought fascinating. So great character, really interesting adversary, no doubt.
And what I think is interesting about her too, quick little bit, is the two big things that separate the two big bads, if we look at them as Dukat and her. One, Dukat's motivations, his why, is always himself. Hers isn't. Hers is always to protect them, my people. So
yes, and that only breaks in the last couple of episodes where we see wrath from her.
You see wrath, but that wrath is still in defense of those people. The burn Cardassia down is like I'm not saying that I agree. I'm saying it is motivated by.
Are you saying you would vote for
no?
For female change?
We're about to all be extinct, right? It's like the dinosaurs. Like it's my last step, right?
Right.
I have some crazy analogies. I'm not even going to go there. My point is that selfishness is not what motivates her, which is interesting as a bad guy when our other big bad is that. And the other point I've forgotten. So
yeah, well, and delusional narcissism. She is delusional and she is a little narcissistic, but it's not quite the same way as Dukat.
And they could have gone superhero with them as shapeshifters, as they did with Laz, sort of. And he's flying around as a big, but they never do. She's always grounded.
Yeah. All right, next up, superhero in our hearts.
Yeah.
And that's Rom. Max Grodenchik, unnamed, was just Ferengi bartender in the pilot, becomes Quark's brother, becomes Nog's father, becomes a great man, becomes an engineer, becomes a husband, and then becomes the Nagus of the Ferengi Empire.
Yeah, I think Rom is a good example of, if you go back and watch early episodes of Keith and Mike, you'll recognize that one of the things that turned me off about Voyager, or Deep Space Nine, was the Ferengi, was Quark being pushed as sort of the stand-in for the show, doing all the press in the beginning and whatnot, and so...
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So out of canon.
Yeah, out of canon. I didn't like the design of it. It seemed like they were pushing the comedy of the show. Like, it just did not represent what the show was, to me at least, as a person who wasn't watching. And the Ferengi themselves, a majority of them, these episodes are played for laughs, are played for slapstick comedy, very broad. Even some of the more dramatic beats with Quark, it's all about very broad stroke political thoughts, like, male oppression.
We're greedy, we're whatever. Yeah.
Whereas some of the most heartfelt character arcs and beats are played by Ferengi, Rom and Nog, and Quark to an extent. But like those characters really, those most human moments are played by these two comedic write-offs. It's so crazy.
Well, becomes the. I think in a lot of ways, Rom is the heart and soul of Deep Space Nine. He is the conscience. He is the heart. He is the sweet gooey nugget that is at the center of Deep Space Nine, and speaks for what is best about all of us. And in the end, he is rewarded. Mm-hmm. With his job. He's in a beautiful marriage. He has the good relationship with his mother, and so Max Grodenchik did 37 episodes. And we should also point out, because she's in a lot of these screenshots, Chase Masterton.
Awesome.
As Lita. Wonderful. Both characters that were supposed to come in for an episode or two and then became major characters. And
you
played
don't
a
get
big role.
Their relationship. You don't get to see a lot of the like actual nitty gritty, but their chemistry is wonderful.
Great
their sort
chemistry.
of support of each other is wonderful. You know what Rom is to me? Rom is like those videos you watch on YouTube from the dodo, right? Where it's like scared dog who's never
save the pet.
We've never felt the touch of a human, and it's hiding under the
Puppy
couch.
Seeing people coming back from war.
Yeah, and then it's like, we introduced it to this kitten, and now it's come out of its shell, and it's no longer, that's
100%. 100%. Yeah. We love Rom with all of our heart. We love Max Grodenchik. You know who else we love? Also a Ferengi, and that, of course, is Nog. One of the biggest changes, growths as a character, as an actor. Aaron Eisenberg just grows and develops and becomes this incredible actor, incredible character, fan favorite for all time. What can you really say about Nog at this point?
Well, just you think about the enormity of, we're so spoiled now with like having the entire knowledge of the universe at our fingertip, right?
Yeah.
Like we can Google it. But like think back of the wonder. Neil Armstrong went to space, right? The first person to touch the moon. Like that, imagine, my mom talks about that and it's still like she can't quite grasp the enormity of it. Or the first automobile, or like firsts.
Yeah.
That first segregated students in the school, like that's the fear they must have felt, the courage, the bravery of that. This guy is the first of his entire species
to
do this. With nobody thinking he should or could. That's huge. And to give that to an actor who's facing similar challenges, who knew it, we talk about this all the time. This goes meta for me. Listen, I think we both could agree, Keith, in our professional careers, as artistic careers, if we had a magic wand, probably would have had a little more.
Look differently. Yeah, for sure.
And so what comes with that as human beings is, you see some people who you know personally who maybe aren't the best here, achieve certain successes, and there's a difficult feeling with that.
Yeah.
But to watch an Aaron Eisenberg have this opportunity,
Yeah.
embrace it, explore it, live it for us,
Appreciate it.
appreciate it, and understand the sort of dice roll of it is really gratifying, not just as an artistic
Yeah.
piece, but as like a performer. It's special to me. It's really special to me.
In front of the scenes, behind the scenes, like it's just it makes your heart happy. The whole all of it.
Yeah.
With Ram and with Aaron Eisenberg.
And just once again, the writers knowing
Yeah.
knowing when to pivot and what to chase and what you've got, knowing that you've got lightning in a bottle is a
Yeah.
special thing.
And and becomes the pivotal character on one of the greatest episodes of the entire series.
Yeah.
So grateful to be there. And if you haven't, gone on the journey with this character, if you're watching the show, you have. But in the world there, do yourself a favor. In a world of ducats, be a nog. You know what I mean? And for the record, Nog did 47 episodes of Deep Space Nine. Coming up next, one of the most impactful actors in Star Trek lore. You know what? I didn't do a character, just the actor. It's Jeffrey Combs, the great and powerful Jeffrey Combs, who over the course of Deep Space Nine, just Deep Space Nine, did 3 different characters over only 32 episodes. You would think he was in every episode based on the impact that Jeffrey Combs had. Of course, as Wayun, Brunt, and as that pervy alien from one episode.
So, trying to like bring it home. I'll stick on us for a second. Played a lot of fun characters. I've done a lot of fun shows. I've had a lot of fun. The most fun I've ever had, Keith, well, one of the most funs is a show called The Full Monty. There was one production where I did not play one of the guys.
Yep.
I played the ensemble character. The track was called Ridge. And I got to play like 7 different characters. They were all freaking over the top, chewing the scenery, chest hair out to pants around the ankles falling over. There's no more fun. Nobody had more fun than Jeffrey Combs on Deep Space Nine. That is a guarantee.
Yeah.
Just to get to do it all, the different makeups, the different characters, the different setups.
Did that track in a production of The Producers once.
Yeah.
Where it was like 7 million costumes, ridiculous characters.
It's Skip Snip in everybody's like, oh, Seymour in Little Shop of Horrors. No. You want to be the dentist because the dentist plays every other character.
Yeah.
That's the part you want.
Yeah, no doubt.
And if you hadn't told me he was Brunt, never would have known.
Never would have known. There's endless essays online about Jeffrey Combs' talent, but his ability to have completely different characters. It's not the makeup that makes Wayun different from Brunt. It's not, the makeup work is fantastic, but it's not the makeup. It's Jeffrey Combs. Jeffrey Combs with no makeup at all could walk into your house and be like 6 different people.
And that episode where he defects is one of, I think, his greatest turns, because the subtle difference between this Wayun and that Wayun, I never for a second thought, oh, it's Wayun playing a trick. You believed it. You believed that all of a sudden this different version had a different quirk. You didn't. That's so hard to do because we have so much character knowledge you've brought up. Clones are tough in that way, right? That's why most properties you see, multiplicity, blah, blah, when they do clones, each one is radically different, right? That's the whole, you carbon copy it, and then all of a sudden this one's the dumb one. This one's the, it was small, it was nuanced, but it was so well done and lived in.
Yeah, I mean, what a talent, what a incredible asset for Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine's greatest asset, its greatest resource. We would, we'd do a coup and steal all of those resources if we could, and that is the talent of the guest actors and the characters and the ensemble here. Next up, needs no introduction. She has an Oscar. It's Louise Fletcher as Vedic into Kai Wynn.
I mean, we've talked about them all. I didn't love to hate anybody as much as I loved to hate Kai Wynn. I remember those first few episodes. Wasn't she the Frank Langella, like one of those first eps?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah. Every time she's on screen, nobody does like smarmy condescension like Kai Wynn.
There is no more punchable character other than maybe Ducat.
No, and I really thought she had ascended to the throne when she killed Ducat at the end. I believed it. I didn't for a second think it was going to flippy floppy, but of course it did. Of course it flippy floppied. May she rest in hell. With much respect.
I gotta say though, big downgrade in costume.
Yeah.
If she went to Kai, losing that hat.
Yeah.
Big loss, big sacrifice. Yeah, I mean Louise Fletcher and the writing of this character, and I don't think you can detach the two of them.
Right.
I think they influenced each other. Her ability to be condescending and like be obsequious in a way that is that has so much disdain while being obsequious. It's really just it's a masterclass in how to be this type of character. And you might say this is the Louise Fletcher type of character, but I mean I think I said this at some point in season 3 or 4, but like every episode where Wynn is involved, it is a letter grade better episode because bad episodes are made better because she's there. Great episodes are made greater because she's there. Louise Fletcher brings so much to this series, and as one of our incredible stable of villains, it's great. She has a very satisfying arc. You know, her like trying to make face turns, which are always undercut by her narcissism, which is also true of Ducat, right? And of course they end up together because they are two sides of the same coin. Incredibly satisfying. Love to hate her.
And a really important, I think, thematic presence in that we see Sisko's relationship with the prophets and with the Bajoran religion in sort of a discussion about like interfacing with a new religion. We see Kira interfacing with that religion as showing devout what faith is and can be, and the intrinsic hypocrisies baked in, which is complicated. But what we get to see from her, which is like a swing, which is necessary, is like a religious figure whose motivations change and how like that can corrupt, right?
Well, yeah, that is such an interesting thought, and I think it's this good time to have the discussion here because we see with the three of them, right? Wynn, Kira, and Sisko. We have a little bit of a triptych here.
Oh, a trinity, if you shall.
A trinity. There you go. Even better. So Kira represents the purity and honesty of faith.
Yes.
Right? Sisko represents the finding of faith.
Discovery.
And Wynn is the corruption of faith. And each of them have their, Kira's pain, right? And her honesty brings her to that. Sisko's integrity and openness brings it, and Wynn's narcissism is what corrupts what I believe to have previously been genuine faith. And so in Deep Space Nine's exploration of what faith means, to have this trinity of points of view on it is beautiful. And you know what? I think helped me as somebody without faith to see that there was more than just the win, and more to it there. And I think that was an important thing for me as a person to sort of see this again through the guise of sci-fi, right? You can talk about these things in a way that, like, you bring out a specific faith in the real world, and like my own thoughts are corrupted in a way that they're not with the Bajoran faith. I can look at it with open eyes, and so what a character.
I don't want to get sidetracked, but I will say, much like I would say one of, I think, the that discussion, that that trinity of spiritual exploration the show presents, I think is corrupted a bit with the introduction of the Pa Wraiths. I feel like the Pa Wraith of it all doesn't really serve any sort of narrative exploration. I get it for like, it becomes very cartoony, which I think makes it easier to wrap up.
Sure.
But in a show that was so happy to explore the gray areas, I think successfully, it sort of shortcutted this whole exploration by making it.
Well, it was interesting that the prophets were not angels.
Yeah.
Why were there demons?
Yeah, there you
go. Speaking of angels and demons at the same time, it's our good buddy, Garrick. I mean, another one of those people who elevate every episode that they're in.
Yeah.
Friend of the show.
Can do everything, right?
Can literally do everything. Is an endless onion. Just what a character. Talk about your buddy.
I would just say, I think there's a strong argument to be made that from a meta perspective, there is no better symbolic representation of the sort of theme, vibe of Deep Space Nine than Garrick. He contains multitudes. There is no black or white answer with him. It's always a shade of gray. There is some truth, there is some lie, there is a lot of it is what it is. It is what it has to be. Whereas most Trek will give you the good guys and the bad guys, Deep Space Nine is giving you what's in the in-between. And it depends on which lens you're looking through, and I think Garrick is the perfect sort of representation of that.
Yeah, and you talked about Jeffrey Combs and how much fun he had performing. Max's just sheer joy to chew, there is nobody hungrier to chew on that scenery, and that scenery must have tasted delicious. And it's arch, it's fun, his horniness for Bashir was delightful. But as we got to the end, it's very Shakespearean. The comedic character ends up being the most dramatic, who goes through the most pain at the end. And mystery. It's Garrick. Everybody loves Garrick. Had the most variety in costumes.
Your vibe about Martok is my vibe for Garrick.
Yeah, well, I have the same vibe about Garrick too. Who, by the way, did 37 episodes. And I forgot to say how many episodes Kai Wynn was in. This will be interesting. Mike, how many episodes was Kai Wynn in out of 173?
12?
14.
Okay.
I would have thought she was in 50 or 60.
Well, she looms large, yo.
She looms large. It is crazy. She was only in 14 episodes.
Did you say how many Garrick was in?
Garrick was in 37.
It still sounds light.
It still sounds light.
Yeah.
And it is, again, comes down to the writing, comes down to the performance, that they loom far larger than you would think based on the number of episodes. Like, Keiko did 5 more episodes than Wynn.
Really?
Really. Lita did 4 more episodes than Wynn. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, let me tell you this. Yeah. This I can tell you. Louise Fletcher ain't cheap. She ain't working for scale, bro.
She has an Oscar.
Yeah.
So there's that. All right. So last of our recurring guest stars. I mean, who else would it be than the great, the evil, the terrible Gul Dukat?
For as great as a foil as for him and Cisco as it was, nothing compares to him and Kira. That dynamic is almost unrivaled. There was no better good guy, bad guy than these two, starting from that episode.
Yeah. And I mean, just the complexity of the character, where he's always the heel trying to convince the audience he's the face. And a couple of times, like, he flirted with being the face when he was, fighting in his little Klingon ship against the Dominion and trying desperately to repair his relationship with everybody. But again, similar to Wynn, perpetually undercut by his narcissism.
Yeah.
And his was just so naked. And so you had that, he was predatory. The actor aside, the character was always, and again, I think a lot of people confuse the actor and the character.
That could very well be the case too.
I think, there's, you've got the Boolean logic, you have the Venn diagram, and there's obviously some overlap, but I think people extrapolate thinking there was a great deal more overlap than there actually was.
Yeah, and I don't know if you know any narcissists in your life, dear viewer, but
I don't know a single one.
The two most frustrating things, and that are perfectly highlighted and underscored and bolded with Ducat, is one, they can't ever be at fault because they believe it, right? It is not manipulation. They're
not lying.
Yes. And that is forever frustrating. You cannot get out from underneath that. And B, maybe one of the most frustrating things at life is when you're being gaslit. And oh boy, is gaslighting his number one thing. So it's uncomfortable. Almost every scene he is in is uncomfortable, and that is a credit to some great writing and some great acting.
Yeah, and he is the hero in every one of his stories, and he believes that he is not pretending to be the hero in his mind. And he is the hero.
He's also about 11 seconds away from winning.
Yeah.
Right? Had Vic sung one more verse?
That's true. I mean, but as a character, let me see how many episodes he did. He did 35 episodes. But again, loomed large over the station. He was never the most powerful, but he was always the most powerful in his mind. And never was an episode not improved by one of his his self-aggrandizing monologues. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, before we talk about our main cast members, how about a little bit more from us idiots?
Season 6?
Subsequent to the pulling of Mike's asshole.
My pulled asshole became a torn ass.
When I was doing Forever Plants.
Should we start over? Back in the old days,
yes,
when we first started, I would have tried to catch up, would have tried to fix it. And now, I just quit. Like a candle in the wind. What I meant is that you want it to be pretty rigid. 'Cause if it gets too floppy, it doesn't work as well. Yes, I'm talking about Phaser still. Genius. Oh, God. Wait, time out. Off. We should get a final word from the Chancellor. Chancellor, come on in.
Chancellor. Go to your one shot. It's our big finale. After all of this work, I'm glad this is our technical solution.
Chancellor, what do you have to say? After a couple of years, what's the journey been like for you?
Where do I begin? I'm beaming with pride for you guys. You've made the Chancellor so proud. I'm just amazed at what you guys have done. 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, 3.5 years.
My hair got
an amount of time.
What about, did we get enough support, enough views? Are we going to greenlight the Voyager pod?
Yeah.
I've thought long and hard about this, and yes,
Yay!
it's happening.
Applause button.
Woo!
Oh, applause button.
Woo! You guys, you deserve it. You earned your way to Voyager. Enough views.
I'm so happy.
Proud. Seriously, I'm gonna cry. Love you guys. I'll miss it. I'll miss you.
Love you too, Chancellor.
Love you guys. Amazing. Someday.
Off.
Mike making noises. All of a sudden, that's your OnlyFans. Do not count down from 10, Mike. Do not count down. Meanwhile, I got gussied up twice this week for Deep Space
This is
Nine.
us. What was the other Gussie?
Yesterday.
What was yesterday?
Our 4 o'clock shoot.
What was our 4 o'clock shoot yesterday?
This. Remember, you didn't tell me you were going to do it.
Oh, I'm glad I recorded all that. I don't even know what day it is now.
I mean, whatever.
I think, like just giving the air of caring really is as good.
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to put that on my Bumble profile.
Yeah.
Like up to, but not inclusive of 100 pounds.
Or you have to sit on the floor.
Oh, good. I mean, somebody's interested in that. Mike, boy, but you're magnificent to me.
Aww.
Aww.
Brandy Gerdy. Brandy Gerdy.
It didn't make it any better. I still don't know what you're talking about. Just play the damn thing. Good Lord. Turn your autism. Your autism does not keep my feet warm.
That's a t-shirt, right? Hold on, I'm recording. Okay, we're right.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Keep Hop 6 Xanax.
Seriously.
If you can't tell, we're not doing okay.
Keith, don't worry. I'm going to save the day!
Oh, my
God! Oh, no, the sound.
Buddy, come on, you smell bad. I don't want you sitting on me. I'm not talking to you. It's non-sexual genital rubbing.
Would you kind of start over?
This morning, we heard they're getting stolen, so just take an extra precaution. You think if you lock your doors, you're safe, but apparently... It's like, until I've rug burned my dick off.
I'm Baby Keith, and I'm qualified to run this whole podcast.
I'm not good at improv.
See, let's jerk.
Kiss me like you did that one night on Naboo.
Gross. That is gross. That ASMR made me want to hurl.
Wow. We're
doing
so
this
for some
stupid.
reason.
Yeah.
Golly. That
you would think, like, once you're past 40.
Oh,
that
well
saying,
past 40.
That saying rug burn your dick off wouldn't derail the whole thing.
Or, regardless of whether it derails, why is it a part of your lexicon?
Fair.
Why does that come out of your mouth? This is the...
I'm glad that I don't, and I do these, the blumpers.
Blumpers. Woo! Somebody look up on Urban Dictionary what a blumper is.
Well, it's the bumper that plays during a... Okay. Let's go forward.
Okay.
That was so meta.
It really was.
Pew Pews? Is that where I think we're going? Yeah.
Yes, so even though Mike is not excited by it, I'm excited by it. I wanted to celebrate a little bit of one of the things that Deep Space Nine did better than any other Star Trek series. The Pew Pews!
Oh, I thought it was a video. I was ready
Where's the music?
Oh, man. Oh, here it is.
I put exciting Pew Pew music.
There you go, bro.
Yes. Like, again, as we look through these, just to see what they were able to do in the late 90s on syndicated television. Really fantastic special effects. Very, very early digital CGI stuff.
Yeah, another way they do Deep Space Nine dirty, once again, when they talk about Trek, to this day, it's still kind of about it being hokey and the action sequences being bad and stuff, but literally no attention paid to the fact that they're actually pretty badass. Really badass. Deep Space Nine kind of stands alone, but I guess we're not going to get... I mean, this is badass.
Right? It's incredibly impressive. And if you're wondering, no, that is not music from the show, because I don't want a YouTube strike.
Oh, hell no.
But, like, these effects are really, really great.
I think it's apropos that this licensed music belongs to your brother.
No, I pay for it.
Oh, you pay for it?
Yeah. Not on purpose. It's because I paid for it once and then forgot to turn the card off. We have been paying for this for years now.
Oh, man. Patreon.com/K&M.
Yeah, right, to pay for my brother's stock footage stuff.
I don't know what else to say. It's really great.
Looks great, very exciting. All of these would be amazing posters. But also, this is also why we can't really get the 4K version of this, because every single frame of this would have to be redone.
Oh.
Which is why next gen was more cost effective to do, to go back to the original film, because people have talked about it ad nauseum. But this was all shot on 35mm film, which means they can up-res that to infinitum. But when they did the special effects, they put that on video. So all the special effects are rendered at 480. And
so they were never going to, or not never, but the initial pitch was to never leave the station? Like they weren't going to have a Defiant? Is that what I heard from Berman? They had to fight for it?
To get the ship, yeah. Because that was not the original plan. The plan was to have all the action be centered around the station and not be ship-focused. But thankfully, we got ourselves the Defiant. 1.0 and 2.0. All right, so let us see. Look at that fire burn. That's a real stunt guy.
So good, man. So good.
So good. So let's now talk about our main cast members. Starting with the latest addition, and that's Ezri Dex, the character that many people love to hate, but I love to love. Mike, how do you feel about Ezri Dex?
I never dislike Ezri Dex. I like her. I like Nicole. Everything about. I agree that them feeling the need to shoehorn 6 seasons of lore into like 3 episodes was unnecessary and probably hurtful. And at that, not even interesting. Like the stories they pitched for those couple episodes were pretty dumb.
The one with their family. Oh.
Yeah, just dumb. And I think if any character was strong enough to have just gone and media res, I think it would have been Ezri. And selfishly, it like wasted like 3-4 episodes of season 7 stuff we could have had. So, but she's great, and I thought her relationship with Worf really stuck the landing. And the one with Bashir, great. I think we needed a fun, exciting
I was happy
relationship
for them.
Yeah.
I think that
they were the most hopeful sort of ending for everybody.
Yeah, they were something young and fresh where everything else was sort of like just hanging on it. I think the writers did both the character Ezri and Nicole DeBurr dirty in the final season because of how they treated the character. So it was sort of like both force-fed down our throats. I keep making wrestling analogies, but it was like when they were pushing the rock before the audience was ready for them. So the audience spit the rock back out because they're like, you don't tell us who to like. Don't tell us, to like this character before we weren't ready for it. Mm-hmm. And so I think both Nicole and the character gets a real bad rap from the fans. Now, do I think she could have been more interesting had they handled her differently? And certainly the episodes that were Ezri focused weren't that great. I liked her working with Garrick, but going back with her family, that was just a terrible episode and a waste of time, like you said. In season 7, we were not. If there were 3 more seasons, then of course, absolutely, let's get to know this new character. And integrate her into the family. But later in the season, where she was part of the ensemble and not the featured person, we, I think, learned to like the character much more.
I think it bears repeating. We've talked about this prior, but pick a long-running Broadway show, right? Back when Cats was running forever, right? One of the hardest things to do is to. Are you am I a sexy feline, or what was your line?
I'm a dancy sex cat. Yeah.
One of the hardest things to do as an actor is to join an ensemble that is ongoing, have relationships. Yeah. And remember, it's not just the characters you see on screen. It's the crew. It's catering. It's everybody. It's costuming. It's there's hundreds of people. And they're a family. And you're coming in fresh. People are salty probably about Terry leaving or have feelings, and there's a lot of
hurt feelings there. Yeah,
there's dynamics and blah blah blah, and that's tough to do. So everything she did on screen and achieved was done in difficult circumstances. So my hat's off.
Yeah, for sure. Next up, let's talk about the youngest main cast member, and that is Jake, who began talk about the changes. Like, it began as a literal child and finished as a literal man. And of course was played by Tony Todd for a while there as an old man. But Cyric Lofton, was a main build cast member for every single episode, but only did. Let me see how many episodes. Talk about Jake. I'll look how many episodes.
Jake's great. I think something I'll take away from Jake is what a growth as an actor I think Cyric had. It's quite a journey. I mean, there is finite amount of young actors who are fully baked, right? That are just have it from the beginning. That is an anomaly. And Cyric, you can see his craft develop as the series goes along. Now, best teacher is experience and amazing co-stars, which he had in spades. And
being taken under Avery's wing, that's not a bad place to be.
I would think so. And I think what's that episode? There's some great episodes where it really lands that, he's, as an actor, he's completed his journey, which feels nice because I don't think as a character Jake gets the most fulfilling arc.
Yeah.
In fact, he loses the most, you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, both as a character and so he was credited in all 173 episodes, only appeared in 71.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. I would say, though, as a cast member, he probably won Deep Space Nine, right? Because that relationship he built with Avery, according to Cyric, has persisted. And
It was
so
a lifelong thing.
Yeah, to like get a second dad, I don't know what his relationship with his parents are, I'm sure, but to have that kind of a tight relationship that started when you were a kid and have that all the way to your adulthood is special, and I'm sure he's very thankful for that.
Not the least of which, 173 episodes of residuals when you're only in 71 of those.
Yeah,
we love those residual checks. Those are always fun.
And some cool stuff, some cool friendship episodes. I think his turn in what's the awesome show with Nog, right? The one where Nog's PTSD.
Oh, Paper Moon.
Paper Moon. That's a tricky role for him there, and that was a really interesting exploration of the development of their friendship and how to have boundaries and also be helpful and be a good friend. He's done some great work on the show.
And his work in The Visitor. I mean, Visitor definitely in competition for my top 5. Yeah.
Far Beyond the Stars.
Yeah, incredible. And he's a good baseball pitcher. Good ball player. Like, for real, the actor. So, really fun. Wish we had a little more Jake, for sure. But I think an important part of the series. Next up, another character who grew up a fair amount and grew a super brain. And that is, of course, going from dumb, horny Bashir to genius, more adult, more mature, more grounded, still horny Bashir.
Yeah. I've never had this experience. I guess working as, but I imagine it's very challenging when you are developing a character and it is changed a few times, and you have to find a way, I think, to motivate that change and then like try to marry it to the other stuff you've been doing. That's not easy. And I've given Siddig some ish throughout the journey. And I would like to officially remove some of the ish. Because I think
an ish removal.
I think some of the schlock was adaptation and not affectation. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And he did it. Like he's because for every kind of stock performance he gave, there was some really nuanced, powerful ones. And I think for me, the transition to being augmented and exploring that a little bit, even him finding the cure or getting the cure, all of that pales in comparison. I think his relationship with Bashir, or with O'Brien exploring a very heteronormative, like, toxic masculinity masked bromance, and finding the heart in that and the love in that is, you almost never see that. Like, Perfect Strangers. That's the only other one I can really point to in my brain. I can think of like two straight dudes expressing love truly and developing that over the course of a show. I thought it was wonderful.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think,
and our podcast, obviously.
Well, obviously. Yeah, I mean, I think he grows as an actor. I think as the character grows, and as the character gets deeper and a little more serious. I know a lot. There's some folks who don't love the genetically engineered retcon of it all. I actually really like it. I find it interesting. I think it helps explain a little bit why he was fronting so hard. That there's when you're trying a little too hard to hide, you're hiding something, so you're trying too hard in the other direction or whatever it is. I wish that direction had been he and Garrick hooking up. Like, that would have been, if I could rewrite the series, right, there would be a reveal sometime in season 3 that he was such a horny dum-dum because he was fronting. He wasn't fronting his super intelligence. He's fronting the fact that he's in love with Garrick. And I think that would be, although in that universe, he wouldn't need to. But anyway, point being, that's the only thing that I wish we could have explored with him differently. But I liked his relationship with his parents. I loved the transition from playing James Bond to being James Bond. I thought that was really interesting and satisfying. And you're right, his relationship with O'Brien is one of the foundational relationships of the show, and super fun. I wish that he'd been able to spend more time with Garrick, and Berman wasn't, afraid of that. But who he did spend time with? And that is, of course, Miles Edward O'Brien, the sex symbol himself.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically, I mean, they claw-armed us and plopped it into Deep Space Nine, right?
Right.
And so that you have a very grounded, everyman human in this. It does help to focus it, right? And whereas Scotty sort of is everything's broken and on smoke and I gotta fix it, and like that's kind of that role there. O'Brien's much more, we get to follow him a little bit more. Like it's I don't know, I identify with him better, and I loved, once again, his relationship with Keiko. I loved his commitment to his family. I loved his, the O'Brien Must Suffer never felt...
Yeah, those two screenshots in a row were the same shots, different episodes.
Never felt unearned, because he's the guy who would sacrifice for his friends and for his family. And that is pretty special. I think it's a great performance. I think there are a few actors who could pull it off. Look, they put him in some crazy-ish.
They made him go through craziness.
And also, and Dorn mentioned it, it's not easy to jump properties. And he did it earlier than most, right? Or he started on Deep Space Nine?
He started on Deep Space. Well, no, he started on Next Gen as one of the side characters and became a regular character on Deep Space Nine, yeah.
And I also think his ending was very satisfying. And, very much what a good, honest, hardworking dude would do, right? Like, go be with your family and teach and do it right. So I loved O'Brien. I thought Colm was great.
Yeah, I think the first thing you said, I think, was really the best way to sum up O'Brien, and that is grounded.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He is the most earthy, normal person. And I think Colm, as an actor, is one of the most grounded actors out there. And you can see why Colm has had a long career before, during, and after this as one of those great, incredibly reliable character actors who can do, he'll do comedy. He did Always Sunny, to, like the deepest, darkest Irish dramas, to action. Saw him on Die Hard 2 on Christmas Eve, which was awesome. So, I think he's I think, like you said, he stands in for all of us. I think that his relationships are very important and beautiful, both with Bashir, obviously, his work life and his real life, and navigating, like you said, the heterosexual male friendship, and also, dealing with a marriage where you're both working and you both have dreams and you both have goals, and you're figuring out how to honor both of those in a contemporary and interesting way. And he's one of the few characters in all of them that is sort of happy doing what he's doing. He doesn't have grand ambitions to overtake the universe and be the president and, take over, conquer worlds, or be a genius like Bashir, or, try to stand above the crowd. He's happy to be the guy behind the scenes making everything work. And there's something humbly heroic about O'Brien, and I think that's part of why we like watching him suffer.
Yeah, I think he's also like the most likely to call bullshit, right? When when a plan is stupid or when somebody's acting a fool, he's the one who kind of be like, "Yo, this is what's up." And him and Worf, and I appreciate him for it.
He has no interest in pretense.
Yeah.
And I think that makes him a very valuable character. He is sort of to the character what he is to the station. He humbly, makes stuff work behind the scenes, and he serves that role in the show. He's not flashy, but he's necessary. And so, great. Here's to O'Brien. Next up, you mentioned somebody hopping over from the Enterprise. It's our good buddy Worf, who joined us on season 4 to help juice the ratings. Let's be honest, it was to help add some of that next gen glow to Deep Space Nine. But honestly, I think it did help. I think it did. It helped both with the ratings. I think it helped with the storytelling. And at the end of the day, Deep Space Nine Worf is a more interesting and better character than Next Gen.
Yeah, so my hot take is there's a lot of conversation I've read and we had on our channel where people think they broke Worf in a way, or that his relationship with Jadzia was problematic at times, and all of that is true. But that makes it interesting. He's flawed. He has some
deeply.
He has some stuff to work on, man. He needs to.
But he did on Next Gen too, but not with the depth and complexity that he does with Deep Space Nine.
We get a plethora of really grounded, mature relationships. That is awesome. But that can also become boring if they're all the same, right? Because all relationships aren't that way, right? You're lucky. You're blessed to be in a relationship like Cassidy and Cisco. Like
Keiko and O'Brien.
Keiko and O'Brien, Kira and Odo.
Right.
So
Rom and Lita.
Yeah. So we need one that's a little fiery to start, right? Maybe was based a little bit less emotionally and a little more physically, and then develops. And he has to come, as we talk about this a lot, Keith. We used to talk about on the practice. I'm going to follow me around the block. Watching somebody sob, satisfying. Watching somebody fight the sob, active, more interesting. Mm-hmm. And we saw Worf come head to head with himself a lot more than any adversary on the show. And those are always interesting, right? When they go to Ryza and he's dealing with just like pure envy. When he comes face to face with the hypocrisy of the Klingon justice, or he struggles with it. And when he has to deal with the failings as a father and what he believes as shortcomings in his son and how that's his fault, those things are difficult and sometimes ugly or uncomfortable. And he's not always a hero, and that is okay. And it's interesting to watch. And not only we have to say thank you also for some great directorial work he did on the show.
Yeah. And honestly, I think Worf is deeply flawed, and I think problematic. I think he has some problematic beliefs. I think he has some problematic behaviors. But one person who clearly isn't is Dorn. Michael Dorn clearly is a good person to work with, because that man has done more episodes of Star Trek than any other human being in history. And I think that says a lot about who the guy is. And so what I think Deep Space Nine did right, is they isolated some of Worf's flaws, but they held him accountable, and they made him grow, and he earned his heroic finale. And I think that, and the mechanism for his growth was none other than Jadzia Dax, who was the opposites attract, right? You know, the fun, the wild, the partier. He judged but had more wisdom than he ever did. And no one did better for the character of Worf than Dax. Terry Farrell, probably the youngest actor on the show other than Sarek at the beginning, who went on quite the journey, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, the two things that stick out. One, I cannot empathize with this, but I imagine that being the one hired because you're pretty and hot and a model, and that's the expectation of you, you must come in with a bit of gratitude, but also a bit of a point to prove, I would imagine.
Yeah.
That's not all you are. And so that chip, I think, shows through in the feistiness that Jadzia has. I think they also sort of changed her character a couple seasons in. They were like, you're funny now.
Right.
And never misses a beat. And instead of taking a turn, right, a right turn or a left turn, depending on what the script is, she integrated. And that's cool. In creating Dax, and which would make sense because Dax, what is the symbiote but like the collective, right? Some weird episodes, some really great episodes. One of the most, I think, you got to argue, probably next to Odo, interesting characters they've ever created, like as far as beings go. Mm-hmm. Just like this whole symbiote thing and what that means. Like when you really start to extrapolate out the Trill, it's freaking cool.
It's a really fascinating idea.
And she's just excellent. And like you said, I think what she did for Worf and what that relationship meant and how they stuck the landing on it, it's just such a shitty. It's so sad the way they killed her off and did her dirty, and we didn't get to see her in season 7. I mean,
the ending of Dax, the ending for Terry was immensely frustrating and saddening for everybody involved.
And I imagine, and you tell me, like watching the first, I feel like of all the things aside from like this, the jokey, like the Cisco and the goatee and the blah blah blah, during a rewatch, I think that's must be the most bittersweet thing is seeing the Dax stuff. It's
tough, it's tough in the finale, to not have her represented in the montage and that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. But I will say this. I think that one of the lasting legacies of Dax, both in the show but also in the world, and what makes her such an important and influential character, is that whether or not they cared to admit it publicly or not, she was one of the first queer characters on Deep Space Nine. And I think that, being on many sides of gender, with relationships, she was in canon a queer ally. She had a couple of moments where she thought Quark was in love with a man, never didn't bat her eye. And and obviously her relationship with her ex-wife, that was a groundbreaking episode. And so I think even though a lot of it is subtextual, a lot of it is encoding, I think that she's a very important character in queer representation on Trek, but also on television. And I think she has tremendous value as a character because of that. And again, it had a chance to rewrite it. I would love to tell more of that story, right? And whether you're telling a trans story, whether you're telling an intersex story, anything like that, I would love to have some writers from that community come in and write some Dax episodes. And
let me listen. You don't even have to change it much. You brought this up when we first met Esri, but Imagine if we brought Esri back as a male
Right.
and nothing else changed. Nothing else changed. So that
Yeah.
that scene with Worf, that confusion
Why not?
with it, that would have been done so much as far as representation and
Yeah.
his love for Jadzia had nothing to do with the fact that she was a chick, right? In
Right.
that chick body. Like, could have been, would have been, should have been. Terry did an amazing job. I'm glad that she got to say her piece to her fellow cast members on camera in that documentary.
Yeah. And she was there. I was really heartened to know that she was
Rap
there at
party?
the rap party.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes a big difference. So, anyway, important character, great character. I would, as in terms of characters to spin off and like tell the journey of all those
heck
lives,
yeah.
I think Dax would be a really interesting solo vehicle.
Dude.
But she dead. She dead as hell.
Yeah, she did.
You want to know who's not dead as hell? But
Sorry. Wrong.
no, not that.
Dead as hell.
So who's not dead as hell, but maybe made a whole bunch of other people dead as hell? And that is the great and powerful Kira.
I mean, so my hot take, Keith.
Let's hear it.
I believe Kira not only co-saved Cardassia,
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
I believe my hot take is that she saved the quadrant.
Let's hear it.
Very simple. The truce that is had at the end, right? So I've been thinking about this. Odo did not linked with the founder more than once.
Mm-hmm.
There was no agreement or truce made in those first gooings, and that's because at those times,
See where you're going. I
at those
love
times, Odo did not contain the multitudes, right? His relationship with Kira at that time was one of you're being taken advantage of, you're being lied to,
it. He was
your
friend zoned.
vulnerability, fear, feeling small, and that
Feeling excluded.
which verified all of the fears the founders had. But after he had this relationship with Kira, that took an incredible amount of courage on her point. Listen, you want to talk about interracial relationships, this is a species that no one knows anything about and is actively a threat to you. And she falls in love with him, and she turns to love him. And not only that, on multiple occasions, allows to let him go if that's what he needs, gives him space and freedom and maturity. And that experience that Odo has is more influential and important than all of the other exploration he does of inhabiting all these different forms. Learning that type of love is what convinces the founder that the humans are not a threat and they can be trusted in this moment of truce. And I think it's Kira who can be credited with that.
And I think that the language that works more than words or ideas in the goo pile is feeling, is emotion, is instinct. And these are the things that she helped Odo feel and become in touch with and accept. And so I think you're right. I think that's brilliant.
So that alone makes her the most important character, in my opinion, in the whole show.
That's fascinating.
And then if you were to buy that, look where she started. She started from a very much a place of, I'm not saying it wasn't warranted, but a self-righteousness, a very insular, I got to protect Bajor, I got to protect, and she had to learn to let go and to trust just as much as she taught Odo.
Yeah.
In order for that to work. And it's, and that all side, nobody, 0% people, actors on the show, monologued like Nana Visitor monologued. I think there's a very strong case to be made that she gives the performance of Deep Space Nine in this. Like, as if you had to pick, give me my MVP like we used to do.
Yeah.
I think it's Nana. I just think it is. And I'm so glad that when I got my X06, it's Kira.
Yeah. I mean, Nana, what an actress.
Yeah.
She's a unbelievably underrated actress. I think she's grounded, she's heartfelt, she's funny, she's a phenomenal actress. And And I think that the character of Kira, exactly what you said, right? And I think she represents the healthy, non-toxic concept of faith, which is something that I have always struggled with. It is something with Star Trek has always struggled with, if not outright dismissed, as have I. And yet here she comes in and has a healthy relationship with faith that actually benefits her in a non-judgmental or condescending, non-self-aggrandizing way, that it's not naive, it's not foolish, it's deep and it's real and profound, and she benefits from it. But more importantly, the influence of faith on her life makes her a better person, and in a genuine way, not a performative way, a genuine way. And so for a character so riddled with guilt and shame for what she did during the war, just the underlying constantly this, I killed people, I killed innocent people, and wrestling with either the shame of that or the denial of that, or they deserved whatever it is, like this tempest inside of her dealing with the consequences of what she had to do during the war. And yet she's underneath all of that chippiness, she's incredibly kind. She's one of the kindest characters on the show, and there is on the surface she's like the unhealthiest, the traumatized, the guilt-ridden. She's kind of the healthiest character there. She's strong, she's smart, she's kind, she has integrity, and integrity is not a monoculture. It's not like it is having a sense of yourself and justice in the complex, in the mess of it all, not thinking in terms of black and white, in the gray. It is having a sense of self as you navigate the gray. And I think that is what Kira really is. And
Well said.
I understand why so many little girls all over the world are named Kira. And they should be, because I can't think of a character that if I had a little girl, I would want her to model Kira. I'd want her to model Nana Visitor.
Yeah.
And what a gift to Trek, and what a phenomenal character. Just awesome. And you know who she helped and who helped her? And that is the great Renee Auberjonois as one of the most complex characters on all of Trek, Odo.
I mean, I'm sure theses have been written on Odo, right? He is both the most alien and one of the most relatable, right? Who hasn't been in some circumstance, socially, at work, in life, in their head, the outcast, the one nobody understands, even in times of depression, even when you feel like you're on an island, you're just the one solid in a sea of goo, and you so desperately want to be part of the goo.
There has no character on Deep Space Nine have I personally related to more than Odo.
Yeah, I can see that. You talk about it wonderfully in your show, where there's such a sense of melancholy or loneliness, a sense to want to belong but not know how, that in order to mask that or to deal with it, you have to create sort of...
Literally put on a different face to match the people around you.
a faux rigidity, a defiance of a thing. And he's also, and we'll talk about this with Quark in a moment, he's also one of the constants. He was there before Deep Space Nine, right? He has always been, and as one of the beacons of the what are they called? Founders, right?
Founders, yes.
Yeah, I was trying to think of their species. Oh, shapeshifters.
I'm turning up the heat. I'm cold.
They have kind of always been. They are sort of back from whenever. We don't really know when he began.
Yeah, who knows?
He's sort of always just been there, and so his growth can't be overstated. We see him literally go from baby to wise sage to the ultimate peacemaker to the save. I mean, he saves
Quadrant. Oh, no question.
Yeah. and just defies so many things. I never thought this relationship would work. Never thought I'd buy it. Wrong. I don't know. There's just not enough I can say. His performances are uniformly excellent. We could find some hokiness from everybody on this show, down to Avery Brooks with some line reads where I'm like, I probably would have him go again on that. Not one for Renee. Not one.
No.
And then when he's dying, I thought he was done. I thought he was dead as hell.
Yeah.
Sold it. Everything. Everything. The whole show. I love the baseball. I love Jake. I love so many images, but the one that will never leave my head, tuxedo. I mean, that's just I can't.
It's one of the
that.
iconic images of all of Deep Space Nine. No question.
And it ain't because they're in a sea of goo. I mean, that's a green screen, right? So
right.
It's the performance. He's just Odo is. I don't think that you're going to get another Odo. I don't think you ever write another Odo.
No, for sure. And, this is, Avery came in with a whole, career ahead of this. So did Armin. But Renee came in acting like legend and like an actor who had done everything. This is a Broadway actor in musicals and plays. He'd done movies, he'd done TV, he'd done comedy, he'd done drama. And you see the experience like radiating through all of that makeup, some of which is behind me on my shelf, right? You see that experience, you see that confidence, you see that growth. You found the baseball.
It is no longer a baseball.
It's good. It's got history. It's got patina now.
No, it's gone.
So,
she ate. I think the leather's gone. Okay, anyway.
Great. That's going to be fun later.
Yeah.
But Renee's skill as an actor is unparalleled. And his his range, Jeffrey Combs has this incredible range playing 3 different characters. Renee has that amount of range playing 1 character. And like I said before, he is all things. He is every bit as much a goo actor as the goo character. And, like I said, I identify with Odo. And I identified with Data on Next Gen, and I deeply identify with Odo, feeling like an outsider, feeling insecure, putting up this exterior that is so composed, that is slightly above it all, slightly disconnected from the room, and yet inside pining like a 12-year-old, right? And I, wrestling with your past and your future and feeling both older than and younger than everybody in the room at the same time, which is a really unique and specific feeling that I think Odo has at all times. And so
he also serves a purpose, I think, for the show and for science fiction that is really important. I think, and for the world, maybe for us, he has shown so many turns just how boneheaded, wrong, hypocritical, how just flawed humans are.
Yeah.
They are not to be trusted. They are not to be emulated. They are all these things. And yet, his arc on this show is becoming human. Because is becoming himself and realizing what he shares with humanity and what he loves about it. And that love, ultimately, is our salvation. And that's an incredible journey.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's always been one character on each series on Star Trek that is autism coded, right? It's Spock, it's Data, it's Odo, and I think that's part of why he appeals to specific people like myself, right? Who feel all these things, and it's always so well written in Star Trek because, well, let's face it, most sci-fi writers probably in the family, and.
There's a subtle difference, though, that I think is important with him. Data. Yes, Data's exploration of what it is to be human from being a cyborg, but he's very specifically not a human, right? Or he's very specifically a thing. He is a cyborg. Or what is that we call it? Cyborg?
Cybernetic life form.
Cybernetic life form, yeah. And you got the Doctor, who I don't know anything about, but I believe is just a hologram, right?
Right.
And so there's an exploration, similar exploration of like, what is it to be human? I get it. But
Right.
Odo, as a changeling, can be anything. Can
Right.
be anything. Right? They're very specifically one thing. He can be anything, and his journey is to chooses this. And I think there's a distinction there.
But the last thing I'll add to that, because I was keyed in by what you were saying about him seeing the flaws in humanity and our society, and that's also an autism code thing, right? He sees the matrix, right? He sees the injustice. He sees the hypocrisy. And he has to navigate a world in which, like, he sees all the seams, he sees all the math that is happening around the world, and chooses to navigate with it, chooses to connect with it anyway. So, one of the things that he sees the math of is somebody rigging the numbers, and that is the great Quark, Armin Shimmerman.
Yeah, I think it's the second kind of bromance. It's the counter to Bashir
And O'Brien.
Yep. Right?
It's a love story in its own way too.
Right. They just never come together.
That's right. Well, they express their love.
Yeah.
With their little dance that they do.
And I think it there's something. Not all relationships have to be built on deep emotional connection or trauma bonding or whatnot. Like, there is something wonderful about, and I think podcasts stand to this, there's something wonderful about familiarity, routine, what is always there.
Playing the game.
Yeah, and very much like we said, Morn, but Quark and Odo are the constants, right? Yeah. Odo has been there since it was Tarek Noor.
Yep. So
Quark is always at the bar, right? He's always there. You can always go to, and we come to appreciate how that's important to people. Like and Quark is that, I think, for the show. Comedic relief. We're going to talk about Armin, but there's a great line in that last episode about Vic says to him about, it's difficult to be the one who's left behind. It's difficult to be the one who's always got to be there, who's got to be the ear to everyone. Everyone expects to be ever present. And there's value to it, but there's also a lot of work, and it's very much underappreciated most of the time. You think in your life as you get older, who are the most important people? And when you're in your 20s, you think it's the fun people, the people who can help you succeed, that type of thinking. And as you get older and your circle shrinks, it's who would I call?
Yeah.
If it's 3:00 and there's an emergency, who's going to pick up the phone? Quark's going to be at the bar, and he's going to give you some shit. He's going to ask for something in return. But if you need a guy who knows a guy, and you need it soon, Quark ain't saying no usually.
Yeah. Well, he's yeah.
And I think he's also a great analogy for resistance to change and how difficult that is. Even if you love the person, even if you know what's right, it's hard to change. But that doesn't mean you can't, and it doesn't mean you shouldn't. And I think Quark is a great example of that.
Yeah, well, Quark is an example of subtle change, right? I think, as much as Quark represents the steady, the constant, the reliable in his unreliableness, right? He also changes a great deal, but he's just not going to give you the satisfaction of admitting it. Mm-hmm. And I think that, Quark is such an interesting seasoning for the show, right? You have all of these characters, Starfleet in particular, right? You have these intensely moral characters who think in terms of human morality and human standards for what's right and wrong. And the Klingon honor kind of matches that, and Odo's sense of justice also kind of matches that in the trills and whatever. And you have this one character saying, that's human morality. That's not, that's pretty, it's pretty pompous to think that you have the say on what morality is. And so he gets to be this seasoning that goes in and pokes at all of the points. And he has multiple moments in the show where he points out the hypocrisy of humanity, of the Federation, and by the humanity and Federation, I mean us, right? Our society, humans, America, right? And like, boy, are we bathing in our own toxic hypocrisy right now. But he was always so good at pointing out the flaws in that, and it was necessary because nobody pushed back on the righteousness of Starfleet and the Federation on Next Gen. It was just taken as a given, and this is the extra layer of complexity where you have somebody saying, "Oh, wait a minute, all right, so you're coming down on me. You've been pretty judgy about my culture, my world. Well, I have some notes for you too." Now, of course, by our standards, the Ferengi culture is pretty darn toxic from top to bottom. But I think through that toxicity, we have a mirror. Because, again, sci-fi, right? Every one of these cultures, every one of these species, every one of these whatever, they're all just different aspects of us. I say this a lot when I'm writing my own stuff, right? My own in a book or a musical, whatever. All of these characters are just different pieces of my personality, right? And the Ferengi are just a part of humanity too. And I think what was interesting about it with Armin, who is one of the most dedicated, hardworking actors. They're talking about him bringing all the Ferengis in to rehearse off schedule. They can't ask anybody to do that. And he was like in leadership at SAG, so he's a big union leader. So you're not going to force him to. But here he was doing all this extra work, being a leader behind the scenes to help make this feel real, to make the Ferengi world feel like a real thing. And it's fascinating to see Armin's dedication to representing this character and this culture who was the literal diametric opposite of his own beliefs. Like, Armin himself, very progressive, aggressively so, and I'm with it 100%. And pretty much like the anti-Ferengi as a human playing the most iconic Ferengi in human history. And I think that is fascinating dichotomy, but oftentimes like they're the best people to play them because they're going to understand them on that level.
I think what you said off camera is so important. Ensembles. We're getting there. There's lightning in a bottle, but that lightning in a bottle has to be maintained. And in sports, you talk about, why do they keep so and so on the roster? He's getting too old. He's this. He's that. Because some of these guys they talk about locker room culture, or
Yeah, sure.
The vibes on set are important, and having dinners and keeping people together and de-escalating situations and egos, that's all happening to keep a show running successfully for this long. And he was a part of that. And not only that, he's one of the characters that played both the hero and the foil often. They asked him to go back and forth, and
he was the reluctant hero.
And that's difficult because sometimes he had to be the boob, and sometimes he had to be the one who was wrong or boneheaded, and sometimes he was the sage or the hero. It's a lot to ask, and he did it excellently. And also, not correct me if I'm wrong, but basically, as an actor, as they were developing the lore of the Ferengi during this series, he was asked to kind of interpret and display all
helped
that.
Create.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he was. I mean, in a lot of ways, he was the father of the Ferengi period. He was the first Ferengi depicted on Next Gen in season 1 of Next Gen, and then. But I think Quark, they were so stock, they were so cardboard on Next Gen, and then he deepened it and made it a real culture that made sense, that had its internal logic. And that's how bright Armin is and how hardworking he is.
And then not the least of which, I'll leave it here and then we can move forward.
Yeah.
You think about Next Gen or the original series, you think about them on the bridge in their chairs, right? That's what you think. That's the image in your head. Think about Deep Space Nine, maybe the promenade, but most likely you think about Quarks. Yeah, right. Me too.
That's right there.
Yeah, it's Quarks. So it's always there. It's Cheers.
Yeah.
I mean, right? It's Cheers.
Right. He's the heart and soul. He will be there forever. Quark will live for 10,000 years and still be running a vaguely unsuccessful bar on Deep Space Nine. Yeah. All right, there's only one left. He is the emissary. He is the captain. He is the Sisko.
So you remember that question we got? That was like, what if Mike didn't like the show in the beginning? My biggest fear after a couple episodes was like, oh man, I don't think I buy this. I don't buy Sisko. Like, I don't see it. I see it. I don't understand it. His line reads are like, what is... And then you realize, oh, this isn't a deficiency. This is him.
It's a feature, not a bug.
Feature, not a bug. And he has maybe just such a sense of self, owns every physical choice, every vocal choice, every take, every look, it may be unconventional. It may not be the choice I would make, but that is sort of why it's awesome. His well-documented demands about representation of fatherhood, his understanding of, we talked about firsts, remember earlier?
Right.
With Nog, he understands what he represented.
Right, he's the first black captain. First black lead of a show on Trek.
Whereas Picard was like always right. Picard was Picard, right? I mean, this is a captain being
almost
like,
infallible.
Yeah,
right.
But this guy chooses fallibility in order for the greater good, which is like crazy. I mean, has some performances that will go down in the history of television. Once again, my hot take. I love this character so much. And like season 5 and 6, he's doing so much. And then season 7, he's sort of a symbol. And he's standing behind Ross and he makes a couple decisions, they have some great scenes, but he's not in the thick of it a lot. And I just missed him in the end.
Yeah, sure.
I just missed him and I wanted more Sisko agency and activity. But
making him a god did rob him of some agency. Because his actions were, he was predestined for this. He was a representative of the prophets. It was less of his choices and it was more of him representing theirs.
I think there's a strong case to be made that finale is just as powerful, maybe more so, if at the end he decides not to be a god. And he comes back and he's like, yeah, I could have been, but I want to be here with my family. Like, I feel like that's a bold conversation. But
I would have liked to see him try.
At least
even if they wouldn't allow that. I agree.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a better ending.
But that has nothing to do with, that's not their choice. Obviously, that's not. I think he was an incredible father. And I think he wouldn't have left the baby if he didn't know Jake and Cassidy could do it, could handle it, or that he wasn't leaving them in good hands. I think he made incredibly difficult decisions. I think he was a great leader, a great conflict. He knew when to call you on your shit. He knew when to kind of let you go and explore. And what I really loved about his portrayal is that so many captains, we make fun of it on Strange New Worlds all the time, where they're like, everything turns into, we've got to defy the orders. Like,
right.
He would never say that. You could see him wink and a nod, and he knew, and he would let people do what they had to do. He knew how much rope to give people.
Yeah, he was a great administrator,
yes.
For sure.
Yeah, and just a hell of I have such a respect for Avery Brooks that I didn't have 3 years ago.
I'll say this: the word that always comes up to me for Sisko is just badass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's obviously he's the guy you want in a war. He's the guy you want in a fight, but he's also, you know, vulnerable. He's a badass father, right? And but more than that, he has integrity, right? And I think that is runs through the show. And I think Avery Brooks, his integrity, the fact that he was so difficult at times, holding the show's feet to the fire and said, no, this needs to be represented in this way. It is important that we tell this story. We have to be a little bit better with our representation, with the stories, with all those things. I think that his leadership there is one of the reasons why Deep Space Nine is so lasting. Why it is still relevant, why it doesn't feel dated. You see Far Beyond the Stars. Had they 90s'd it and pulled some of the punches, it would have felt dated. He keeps it from feeling dated by giving it the integrity of the character, of the actor, of the show, saying, no, I will not compromise these relationships. I'm the first black captain. It is important how I am represented. It's important how we represent these stories. It is important that Sisko is not on board with Vix. We need to know why. We need to, you know, tell these stories and not gloss over it, not pussyfoot around, really tell these stories, have that integrity. And I think that, as, you know, maddening as it might have been to have these fights, it was essential and important that he do that, and the show will live on forever and continue to be relevant because he was willing to stick up and have these fights and hold us accountable and make us look at these things.
So there's, to use a Cisco-ism, every gumbo, right, as tasty as it is, right, there's like a couple ingredients that are just under the surface that kind of give it its special spice. And what I think the the special spice to all the things you just said is also two really small things that are huge. One, he also could be impulsive. And despite, just like all good Starfleet captains, right?
Right.
Despite what all the odds said, sometimes he'd fly off the handle and go do something.
He could destroy a planet once.
Yeah, destroy a planet, or be like, you know, I shouldn't go into the mirror hole, but I gotta leave Jake here, but I'm gonna go, you know.
Right.
But that aside, the thing I love about him too is his sense of whimsy. On occasion, out of nowhere, an incredible sense of humor. Or, hey Jake, let's go friggin' build a sailboat and go sail the stars, right? Like, let's build this puzzle. Let's, like, this childlike play and whimsy, or that he would get when he was cooking, or out of nowhere and spontaneously and off the cuff, makes it 3D.
It helped disarm, right? It was the seasoning in there, because, like, with all of that, like, go into war, badass, and, like, you know, we're gonna fight for these injustices, and then sometimes it's, I built a clock, you know, and it's like, well, that's fun. So, and there's a sense of Avery might do just about anything, and that keeps you on your toes and keeps things fresh. Folks, we have been talking for so long that I have had to switch to decaf, and because we started at 12:30, we've now crossed the threshold at which I stopped drinking caffeine because I'm old.
I went the other way. I had to take an Adderall just to kind of make sure I could be here.
Hilarious. Well, you know, I'm firing up on Slim Jims, so we're up. But here's the thing. We've reached sort of the part of the episode where we start expressing our gratitude. And we have a lot to say to the audience, to you who have been watching all of this. But first, we want to express our gratitude to the special few who give us money. And we love them. These are everybody who has ever contributed to the Patreon, unless I missed it, at which point I apologize. Mike?
Yeah. We're not saying their names, are we?
I mean, it's up to you, buddy. Well,
No.
it's kind of too late now, isn't it?
Let's let them scroll. Yeah. When we were doing Oops, we had maybe 5 people. And
Literally.
that sort of blew my mind at the time. And now there's more than 5. And if you don't count the people who are paying, and you count free people who've taken the time to click the membership button, that's even more. And I don't know, we've said it so many times. It's humbling, it's incredible, it's literally saved my ass fiscally a couple times.
Yeah.
And more importantly, some of the emails and messages we've received and conversations that are ongoing, both friendly and sometimes heated, and sometimes they're, what is life? We live in a world where we're in an echo chamber and you just believe what you believe. It's nice to have conversations with people and to challenge each other, and it's been pretty wonderful. So to everyone who's ever decided that they've gotten enough out of this to contribute, we say thank you. You can always join the team at patreon.com/KNM, and there's more journey ahead.
Yeah, for sure. And some of you have foolishly gone even above and beyonder. And that is our Hall of Fame members who have contributed $100 of their real money to us.
Oof. This goes way back to the old days as well. So some of these people, I think...
Now, if you're in the Hall of Fame, you were in the Hall of Fame forever.
That is true. You can't... Your bust is there. Yeah, it's... I don't know what else to say. It's humbling. And, you get to watch the show, and I'm so glad we get to do our picnics. And listen, we promise more because we want to do more as far as the patron goes, and I'm going to make that a focus. We just don't ever, Keith and I both have continue to be very poor. And
we'll always be. We're in the arts.
Listen, even myself, there are some podcasts I absolutely love. And $10 a month is just too much. I can't do it.
Yeah.
So I get it. And so we don't, everything, unless we've changed something, $1, we have to put a paywall. It's a Patreon thing. $1 will get you in, right?
With everything. We do not gatekeep content.
Yeah. That's just going to, I know, I understand that's frustrating, but also that's not going to change. That's just the way we're going to do it. But we encourage you, whatever you can give, whatever you are getting out of the show, it does help. And more so for yourself, these are incredibly compassionate, smart.
It's a great community.
It's so great, man. And to the point where, I don't even know that we deserve to be in it, man.
Oh, no doubt. We're the two, dirtbags haunting our own Patreon.
This isn't even a humble brag. It's not even a brag. So, one of the most special feelings I've had in this whole journey was last week during the finale watch-along. Keith was watching. I was not participating in the chat. I was watching the episode, but on my second monitor here, I have the show up because I'm trying to make sure nothing breaks, and I just saw the chat, just our peeps chatting amongst each other.
Yeah.
I don't know what that feeling was, but it was an immense amount of gratitude and pride, and it's it's awesome. For real. It's
a wonderful community. There is an archive of more than 200 hours of patron exclusive content, including every single episode of Deep Space Nine, a couple of the movies. We're getting there.
Yeah, man.
Plus there's some next gen watch along stuff. There's some animated watch along. We've got some other stuff. So go check it out if you care to. And if you do, you might be lucky enough to get some truly high class content like this. We're new. We're new and improved.
We should have thought that through.
If I could turn back time, my dear.
AI has entered the chat.
2 pips meet on a ship.
Oh yeah, 2 pips. Let's just holodeck it. So what? You see my weenie?
I don't want to see your weenie. I don't have a problem with your weenie.
What's a weenie amongst friends?
Watching the Super Bowl, maybe I'd see a weenie.
Because you don't want to see the weenie. How long will the weenie runner go? There is no team like the best. I'm not going to do the Your big face, Keith. The Charlie Brown song. We should just cut it there.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll notice that Keith and I cuss.
I did not. The 19-minute boner.
It's a curse being so funny. Your partner's been double donged. The double dong.
You lost me at the double dong. Who doesn't love a double dong conversation?
Double
dong. How was it when you
Charlie.
do double dong?
This spoiler warning is well after the double donged. If you're lacking a dong and you're looking for a double dong, patreon.com/K&M. Should we start over?
Yes.
What are we saying? Yes. The words. Could you read some? I would be self-conscious that I'd have a little peenie pop. Pop goes the goozle.
There it is.
Arma. Enib. Leggies?
Go show-o. Or at the very least, bang me in a lifeboat. You're welcome, Internet. We can put them all in the end.
You're the one who says keep the funny stuff up front.
What?
One of us has to die so we can bang the other one through our new host. We should not use any of this.
And then you have to be passed out and give us some memories.
One time, I stole my neighbor's He's really most sincerely King Warp! Yeah!
There can be only one response to that!
Is that Slim Jim?
Yeah, it is.
I'm looking for the cure.
Get out of my head!
Oh, I have to hit the button.
You do, yeah.
Let's try again.
Anytime now.
Wrong button. One more time.
Yes.
That's where we're gonna take our first pee break.
Okay, great.
Pee break number 2.
Okay.
I've been drinking a lot of water.
You gotta stay hydrated, buddy.
Let's take our final pee break.
Great.
Yeah.
We just did that. Someday, when I'm awfully low.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
When the
Keith,
world
don't do it.
is cold.
I'm gonna have to cut him off. I can't cry
I
again.
will
Can't
feel
cry again.
low just thinking of you.
All right, it's pretty though.
And the way. You look tonight.
Oh, buddy. This is for real. This is for real. Okay. Okay.
Woo.
Well, guys, that's how the show goes.
That is deeply how the show goes.
Yep.
So we have a few more fun stuff to do just for giggles. And then we just want to give a little shout out to all them famous people who came on the show, including Iggy Pop.
Ooh, uncredited
Remember-
Iggy Pop, right?
No, I think he was credited.
I thought that was one of your trivial trivias that he didn't want to be credited, or was that Frank Langella?
Frank Langella didn't want to be credited,
Right.
but Magnificent Ferengi, what a great episode. Really super fun. Also, Tony Todd, of course. I mean, he's a Star Trek royalty, of course, but it's freaking Candyman.
Well, not only that, he's like, I'll pop in and give a devastating performance.
Like, obliterate all of acting.
Yeah.
Final Destination.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, Moogie 1.0, Tony winner, Andrea Martin, did not care to put on those prosthetics again. And you know what? I don't blame you.
You know what?
I don't blame you.
Some say Moogie once, comedic second half of joke.
Don't get Moogied again. That's what I'm saying.
Moogie me once, shame on you.
Shame on you.
Moogie twice.
Don't get Moogied. Yeah.
Hey!
Jonathan Banks, from I think season 1.
Wow.
Well,
Forgot all
before
about
he
that.
was Mike. Yeah, right? Frank Langella, of course. This is the only time he will be credited, because he was uncredited on
He
the
did it for his
series.
grandkids or his kids or whatever?
Yeah, it was his grandkids, I think.
That's cool.
We're excited about it. Another Oscar winner, James Cromwell. Another Star Trek royalty, has done many episodes of various Star Trek stuff. Can't even tell who it is.
You can
Good
see it
makeup
under
effect.
there. That'll do, pig. That'll do.
That'll do. Gabrielle Union, well before she was Gabrielle Union, she was a Klingon. Nobody ever clocks that.
Maybe the hottest Klingon I've ever seen.
I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't. And Gina Phillips from the what is that horror series?
I don't know.
Oh, hold on. Jeepers Creepers.
She thanks you for
Ooh.
this screenshot, by the way.
Look, that's the one I had. That's the one you took, sir. And another Tony winner, John Glover, the legendary John Glover.
Did I ever tell you
always-
he was writing the Chancellor a bunch for some reason?
He was?
Yeah.
Yeah. During what?
During Fiddler. He was trying to get tickets for something. And then she's like, okay.
Interesting.
He was like, can you get me comps? It was weird.
I mean, he wasn't hitting on her.
No, but like, buy a ticket.
You're John Glover.
Yeah.
I mean, they got those somebody save me residuals.
Now, that all said, I don't remember the specifics of the story. That could be completely false. I'd have to ask Jen, but there was some sort of something.
I don't know. Well, whatever. He's in her
He's in her phone. He's in her phone.
Okay, there you go.
Ah.
Harris Yulin, of course. Fantastic. What a great Kurtwood Smith. Dumbass.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
we might see him later. Bill Mummy.
Seth
We
Green?
killed him off. Seth Green. That's funny. Vanessa
yeah,
Williams.
Riza.
Of course. Not a great episode, but Vanessa Williams, another Broadway person, always welcome. Always welcome.
If there's one place in all of Trek you could take a vacation,
Oh, God. I would never leave.
as long as it wasn't. Of course, we'd get there and start raining, right?
I don't care about the rain. Well, the legendary Wallace Shawn, of course.
So good.
Always welcome. And there it is, Iggy Pop. So those are our big stars. But, you know, we had a lot of stars. We had a lot of heroes. But not everybody made it. Our in memoriam. Don't forget our music.
It's there. It's just not playing.
Oh, your computer's melting. Our fog is dying.
There we go.
There we go. Oh, we want to just take a moment and memorialize all we lost.
The freak.
Including... It's a fake!
Oh, that's so sad. I want the music to play.
Where's the music? I know it went goofy last time. It was there for a second.
It was.
I
Hold
think
on,
your
I'm gonna-
computer's very sad.
Yeah. Well, it's playing
Well,
off an
it's not doing
SSD,
great.
so hold on.
That's right. It's gonna work.
Okay. Well, you know what? We gave it our best.
Imagine very sad music.
I mean, that's the only
Okay.
glitch we've had so far. He said.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So, alas, we lost Senator Vreenek, but it was good for the galaxy.
Yeah,
Kevin,
dude, this episode was hysterical.
yes, that is the corpse of Kevin. What a
Who's still up there bouncing into a wall somewhere?
It sure is.
Yeah.
On Empok Nor. Great moment. Very, very funny. Kai Chewbacca.
Kai Chewbacca, one of the first times we saw Nana like eat up the whole scene.
Mm-hmm.
Open the floodgates.
Gamar, of course, Kira's second father.
Head of the
sweet-
Obsidian Order, yes?
No.
Oh, that's the other guy.
This is the guy who was adopted Kira. And Vedic Barile. You were there.
Yeah, you happened. You happened.
He died.
Yeah.
Here's a Nobrin Tane.
Yeah. The
Paul
taint-
Dooley, Emmy winner Paul Dooley,
the,
also from the practice.
the I would say the pinnacle, the best taint on the whole show.
Save the best for last. Michael Eddington, of course, was also there, causing trouble for a while.
Yeah, they were like, this is a story we're gonna pursue. So we're gonna do better by the Maquis? Like, are the Maquis gonna be interesting now in Voyager?
I'm not spoiling nothing.
Well, I mean, Keith, we're gonna do the show. The Maquis better not suck.
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Keith, that's the dirtiest thing you ever did to me. You made me waste 3 years of my life on a shit show. We could have done Who's the Boss.
If the Maquis were on Who's the Boss, it'd be more fun.
That's true.
Who's the boss? Well, but that's the whole thing. The whole pilot of Voyager's Who's the Boss? You'll understand that soon
I
enough.
hope Alyssa Milano's available.
Koloth, of course.
That sound effect was choice. All right.
We lost Koloth, legendary Klingon. We also lost Koloth again. I think that was Kang.
Oh, Core was great. Yeah.
One of them is mislabeled.
Mm-hmm.
Kor, obviously the most memorable of our three Klingons. who lasted the longest.
They all went into battle with Jadzia, which was pretty
Worf,
cool.
Yeah. That was fun. Zial, the final version of her that died.
She's like 30 now.
Exactly. Damar, we lost you in the finale. Gowron, dispatched by Worf.
That was crazy, yeah.
We're still us.
Yeah.
We're still us. I hope everybody was keeping the beat so we didn't get surprised by that.
If you look at the music, it just says tacit for quite a bit, and then when then it says then it sees Gowron. It said safety and
That's
go.
right.
Yeah.
Entrance is Gowron and go. Of course, we lost Luther Sloan and his, I'm sure, sweaty suit.
I wonder if he kept that. I hope he did.
I don't know. I feel like Paramount wouldn't let him have it, but
Well,
I don't know. I'm going to take it home once.
Well, if you just stop by Netflix now, you can probably grab it.
I don't know who he was dating at the time. Wei Yun 4. We lost Wei Yun 4.
Loved that way in.
Very, very sad.
Although I
Very
heard
sad.
that there was some problems with shipping in Wayun 4, so we're waiting for Wayun 5 now.
Indeed. Well, luckily, Wei Yun 5 also died.
Nice. The sculpt paint looks a little better here.
The sculpt is great. Looks good. Wei Yun 6 died in Odo's arms. You know, how everyone wants to die. Looking up at his god.
Look at this sort of neck scar there. I never saw that before.
Well, because it was the poison.
Right.
Awesome.
Awesome.
It was showing up. Wei Yun 7, kind of the dickest of most.
Yeah.
But he got some validation from his god before he died. But then Wei Yun 8 also died.
Wasn't he the final Wayun 8?
Yeah, Wei Yun 8 was the final. Yeah, I thought 7 was the final, but he was not. We lost Kai Wynn. She burned up.
Yeah, that was a tough. That's a tough way to go.
It's what she deserved. We lost Ducat. Cisco.
Yeah, he's
finally
like probably
killed
the
him.
most burning and helliest.
Probably. Yeah, Wynn burned temporarily. And we lost Jadzia. Those are our heroes who died, and villains who died. Pretty big body count.
Yeah, of all those deaths, Jadzia's is was the worst one too.
Of course it was. That was brutal and not heroic. Well, Mike, we're gonna tease. We have 2 more things in the lineup. We're gonna tease what we're up to next, and then we have a little goodbye. But it is time for your final thoughts.
Yeah, so I wasn't as emotional this afternoon as I thought I would be, and I think that's because
You're dead inside.
yeah, no, we know what's next. We've done this before. And the ending is a part of it, right? But I will say that doesn't mean this hasn't been a special journey. I had a ton of fun on the Out of Practice podcast. So much fun. That show is so batshit. I encourage you to go watch it. Like if you haven't done a rewatch of that, like go follow along with us. Those watch-alongs I think are available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the watch? You can hear.
We did. Yeah, there's so much of us. Even worse, believe it or not. A ton of fun. I enjoyed that so much. This project surprised me. It introduced me to one of my favorite shows. So much happened in my life during the run of it. I am better because of the show. It's taught me a lot. The conversations I've had with a lot of you have helped me reaffirm some beliefs I have, reflect on some that I had, and I've learned a lot about respect and discourse. Keith and I have had many conversations about some of the conversations we've had with our community or that have been had towards us, how to respond to things, how we want to communicate as a brand, as people. And some of that discussion has been very invaluable. I think, Keith, you've taught me to push back a little more when necessary. I think we've also let cooler heads prevail at times. It's been special to me how we've had each other's back, how the community has had our back. That's been really special. Yeah, it's so rare then somebody tells you something's going to be wonderful, and then it is. When somebody says this is the best something, and you're like, no, okay, I hope so, because, but it has been. This show has been amazing, and you know, I appreciate all of the work you have done for the show. You know, we've talked about it ad nauseum, so I won't get into the weeds of it, but obviously I respect Keith for all of the work and talent he brings to the show and in all his work. But, you know, over the past couple podcasts we've done and into the future, not even friends anymore, we're family now. I feel like you're a brother of mine, and I just love you so much, buddy. I'm so excited about whatever we did next. Whatever it is, I'm on the ride. I'm there with you. And it's so nice in a life I've had that has been had ups and downs and lacked a lot of safe spaces and consistency and things I could rely on and count on and feel safe with. You, this show, our community, this experience of just kind of vibing and talking about TV together is one of the most consistent, safe, wonderful spaces I have. And I'm so proud of it. Appreciative of it, and excited to keep it going. Not only that, and then I'll let you talk. Just as people, as artists, as like creators of content, I've learned fucking college degrees worth of stuff. I don't know if any of it's important or can contribute to the humanity at all as a whole, but the learning and the developing has been so much fun. So thank you everybody. On to the next. I'm so glad we did what we set out to do, and we have such an amazing thing. Somebody was asking me for a portfolio the other day to work on something, and I could just send them a link to like hundreds of hours of stuff we've done, and that is because of you, and thank you to Deep Space Nine, and there's nowhere in the world did I think I would come out the other end and be like, I'm a Star Trek guy. Here I am. Here I am.
Oof, yeah, I mean, God, that's a lot. I mean, yeah, I think I land where you do, in a place of profound gratitude. You know, Star Trek has always played an incredibly important part of my life. Because, you know, you mentioned this being a safe space, right? Since I was 7 years old, Star Trek has been my safe space, and I haven't always felt safe, right? And so, Star Trek, the show, the community of Star Trek fans, these people here, you know, it has always been this refuge for me. When I was sad, right, I would watch Star Trek, right? I'd turn on, still do, right? You know, I turn on Star Trek because it grounds me. It makes me feel safe. It's a world I understand. It's a world that, you know, I can wrap my head around and feel like, you know, because so much about this world right now I don't understand. So much of this world I can't wrap my head around. And Star Trek has always been that for me. And, you know, I said something, I don't know if it was on the Patron stream or whatever, that now, when I feel sad, when I feel down, when I need to feel better, I put on our shows. Because there's something grounding to me and safe to me and joyful to me about our friendship on air. And so that's what grounds me now. And that was only possible because I asked you to come on this journey with me. I trusted you to come into my safe space, to come into my little fort. And I trusted Mike to come on this journey with me because it's a vulnerable thing, right? To come into my safe space and don't make fun of me for it.
Right.
And allow it to go on the ride, allow it to be fun for you, to set aside what's cool in the world, or set aside what, and be vulnerable with me in my vulnerable place. Right. And that is what this show has been for me. I showed you my stuffed animal, right? And you didn't laugh at me. You came in, you hopped in, and we played in the fort, right? And that is true of you, Mike. It is true of everybody who's been watching. It's true of this whole community that we've built here. Everybody has come in and played in my fort, in my special safe place. And for that, I am immensely grateful, right? We are in a world right now that is not great, right? The world is scary and confusing. There's bad stuff, scary stuff happening every single day. And it is hard for that not to intrude wherever and here I am in a basement. I'm literally subterranean, hiding out in my basement, and it's there. It's coming at me. And so to have, like you said, this reliable space to come to, this thing that grounds me, this world that I can understand and feel like I'm welcome in and feel like I'm a part of, it's incredibly important to me. And I too have learned and grown so much from this endeavor. I have, you can see, turn on the pilot and turn on this, how much we have learned and grown, and then, times a million starting with our previous projects. And so I've learned a lot practically of what we do here in broadcasting and talking and all that kind of stuff. I've learned a lot about myself, right? Throughout this journey, I learned about my autism. I've learned about, I've gone through huge life events. We both have, and we've all done this together with this community that we have here. And so, I'm so happy that we did this. I'm so happy to have gone through this journey. One of the things that I was afraid of was if we spend all of this time picking apart this show and 1.6 million words on Deep Space Nine, that somehow it would diminish my love of the show. I might grow a little tired of it. I might grow a little like, okay, yeah, I don't need to see that again because I've really gotten in there. And I was a little nervous about that. I was nervous that maybe you wouldn't like it so much and that would diminish my love of it. And you know what? No, I love it more now than I ever have. And I'm excited to go back and start all over again. And so I am grateful to you for that. I'm grateful to the show. I'm grateful for the community. Everybody here watching with us, because you also have been my safe space and bolstered my love of this thing and have come into my, into my little fort here, and we've all played together. And I think that's been incredibly, it's been beautiful, and I have really, really appreciated it. So I'm excited to move forward and to keep going. But honestly, gratitude is the most important thing. Maybe not for Jillian vacuuming over me right now.
One other thing I learned that I guess was, I'm talking conceptually, I guess, for all the podcasts too, is, we come from a business that there's a lot of like, what juice can I squeeze out of this? Like, is the juice worth the squeeze? Should I take this job? Will it lead to another job? Will I meet like everything's got, everything's transactional in a way. But this, the mission was pretty simple. We're going to watch Deep Space Nine, right? That was it. And never could have imagined the stuff I'd learn, what we learn about ourselves. Yeah. I trusted not just you, but that stuff would happen. And I think that's something artistically I've learned, and you've always been really good at this, and I've needed to learn it, is that sometimes you commit to finishing it, and then you find what you've got.
Yeah.
You don't know until you do it. And I will say, some of those emails from some patrons that have gone through some shit.
Yeah.
And found some semblance of comfort from our stupid voices. That is not lost on me. And that talks about impact, and every one of you has impacted me. And in this world, like Keith said, that isn't, you can't even comprehend it sometimes. And there's no consistency. We still have agency over our impact in our little circle. So there might not be accountability out there, but we can have it with ourselves, and we can do our little bits. And, Deep Space Nine doesn't give us the happy ending. It doesn't give us the answers. It hopefully teaches us to sit in the uncertainty and make the best decisions for those we care about. And that's what I'm going to take forward.
Yeah. Be kind. Be accountable. And we are finally ready to announce what's next. Spoiler alert. Mm-hmm. And here.
Now, does this say the title? Because
this is going to announce after all of the possible titles.
We've got
hilarious, insightful, great title ideas.
And what would you say? We had I would say maybe a 2-hour meeting about finally what we were going to settle on.
For sure. And what
tears were shed.
What slice of genius did we come up with a title for our next show?
I think it may be the best we've done.
Mr. Paris, set a course for
Oh, dude, is that the theme song?
That's our new theme song.
Woo, that is hot.
Yes. So that is the theme song of Keith and Mike Watch Star Trek Voyager. Really going out of left field for that title, but that's us. That is our new theme song.
Dude, Kate Mulgrove is awesome.
Kate Mulgrove is amazing.
Yeah. What did I just call her? Mulgrove?
I mean, that's...
Hey, listen, you got to start somewhere.
He's coming in fresh, folks. Yeah. He's coming in fresh. So
is Sean going to join us on occasion?
On occasion.
Okay.
Yes, we're going to have somebody with some authority who actually worked on the show come and talk with us. So that's going to be super fun. He doesn't know that yet, but he will.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, so I figure let us just end with I did a little something to say thank you to everybody. Thank you to Mike. So love you, buddy. Let's
love you too, man.
For one last time, this has been Keith and Mike. Watch Deep Space Nine. Someday, when I'm awfully low, when the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you and the way you look tonight. But you're lovely with your smile so warm and your cheeks so soft. There is nothing for me but to love you just the way you look tonight. I didn't pick these to be bad. They were just inherently bad. With each word, your tenderness grows.
They're all bad.
Tearing my fear apart. And that laugh that wrinkles your nose touches my foolish heart. Lovely, never change.
just the